Stranger Things. Stranger Things. Those are the words to the Stranger Things song. In case anyone was curious or wondering. Ooh, girl. I had to turn off TTS for tonight. Internet, I hope you're okay with that.
What's TTS, Jack?
That's text to speak. We're live. We're live, by the way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I know. You
okay,
told me we were going live.
I
can't see you though. I can't see the. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
To click watch now.
So the internet can hear you too. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was just gonna put me in there, but.
No, right now they're seeing a screen of a white room with a pinball machine
with the white flippers.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm in the right place. It's been a while since I've done one of these with you.
It's been a long ass time.
Yeah, I used to do every one that you did when we have a game to do, and now this was the first one. No, I did the turtle. Didn't we do a turtles one?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the last one I did with you. And there was like the whole team was there or something.
Yeah. What's up, internet? You can see on screen I'm here, and then I have a very small Mike Vinikor with me on the on the screen as well.
Hey, don't mess up my COVID hair, Jack.
Yeah, sorry, I got you, bro. I got you. Flawless Tater Salad, how's it going? We're gonna have Vinikor on Zoom here with us for the entire broadcast, or for most of it anyway. And we're also going to have, I believe Brian said he was going to be in chat. Brian Eddy.
Yeah, Brian will be in the chat for sure.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of freedom to like. Oh, what the hell am I grabbing here? If you need to like ping Brian to like get his attention for any questions or stuff. Hopefully he's going to be whatever. Doesn't matter. Jay Pavlok, Flawless, what's up?
His username will probably have his name and Stern in it. I can't remember how we set him up the last time we did something where we were in a chat. But if he uses that same account, there he is. He's BRE_Stern Pinball. Hey, Brian.
What's up, Brian? Good to see you, my dude. So if you have any questions for the team, I'll do my best to read them out. Vinikor here can also see chat and can communicate with us. And Brian is in chat if you have any Eddy specific questions for him. I don't think Lonnie's going to be here.
No, Lonnie wasn't able to join us. He had a prior commitment.
Okay.
Muffler, this is a perfect opportunity to load the new code while you're watching us, because then you won't get impatient watching the status bar go by.
There you go. And I, unprecedented, ladies and gentlemen, have already put the game in place and installed the new code.
Good man, Jack. I'm proud of
you. Usually the first hour is me going, oh, what game am I going to play? And then I'm updating the code. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Diamond badge, so he stands out. Oh, I should give him VIP. You're right.
It's almost as if we planned this, Jack.
Yeah,
you were so prepared.
I'm doing it. How do I wish there was an easier way to make them a VIP without having to type in their whole name. VIP. And then BRE _. So, Mike, how have you been?
I've been good. I'm not logged in because I figured I would just answer things vocally as I see them.
As long as you can read chat, you're fine.
Oh, yeah, I can read it totally fine. I've been good. The weather is pretty lousy these days, which means the one escape you got from quarantine was going outside, and now I can't go outside anymore. But, I got enough entertainment here in the house to keep me busy for about 10 lifetimes between all the games and all the music. So I can't complain.
Heck yeah. You you look like half of yourself. Like, it is insane.
I am half myself.
Yeah, you. Congratulations! It's wild.
Thank you. So the summer of exercise paid off. Like no traveling, no concerts, no working in an office. So I just spent all that time walking and biking, and then I dropped 45 pounds in March.
Dang, dude! I wish I did something with all that time. I just drank and ate a bunch of Taco Bell. A question for the internet. Can you hear Mike okay? Does he sound all right? He sounds great to me. Mike's supply of in and out got cut off and now he looks this way. True. Uh-oh. Mike froze. Hopefully he didn't click something. Uh-oh. Mike, we lost you, buddy. Uh-oh. You there, Mike? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, it says my internet connection's unstable. Let me step upstairs.
And
Let
you
me step upstairs for a second to make sure my family's not tying up on my internet. So
sounds good.
I'll be right back.
All right, brother. Mike was frozen in time. Green screen. It's the future, internet. Man, it's wild. So, folks, we are at 1.0 code for Netflix and Stern Pinball's Stranger Things, designed by Brian Eddy, coded by Lonnie Ropp. Mike Vinikor, I still don't know what to say Mike Vinikor does anymore. So I'm going to let him introduce what influence he had over this game. Mike, what the hell did you do on Stranger Things?
So officially I was 1/3 of the design team on this one. So on other games I've had various input as far as game rules, and this one I had a lot. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, okay. Something happened, but you're good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I had it was like this was a 3-man design team of Lonnie, Brian, and myself. So the three of us as a collaboration did all the game rules.
Sorry, you're doing great.
Aside from that, I oversee all of our software testing. I'm in charge of all of our software updates. I run our field test program. When we're not in a pandemic, they send me to the various shows that Marco does, the pinball shows, the enthusiast type shows, to represent the company. And I do probably a half dozen other things I can't even think of off the top of my head. I wear a lot of hats, and every few weeks or every month or two, I get another hat. So
why aren't you wearing a hat right now, bro?
I should be, but I thought it would mess up the video.
Hey, you look great. Yeah, so that's what Mike does. Mike's he's like a jack of all trades. You're all over the place, man.
This is true. Keeps it interesting.
This is huge. We're at 1.0 for Stranger Things. I was looking at the README file, and I'm seeing something about drawings now that maybe I didn't see before.
Yeah, so we just added those in 1.0. So when you play modes, and there's a couple other ways to earn them as well, but the meat and potatoes of earning drawings is the chapter modes. If you finish a mode successfully, so you get it, you make all the shots in it and complete it, you'll get a drawing. And then these drawings are used, they factor into your end of the ball bonus, and then they also will influence the points in the 3 wizard modes, the 3 last ones, the 2 season ones, and the final showdown. You can get one drawing per chapter mode, plus the demo dog modes all have them as well.
Okay.
And a couple other places you can get one from Mystery. You could get one time. You can earn them in TK multi-ball. And then there's a couple sprinkled around hidden there too.
Awesome. Well, that's great. My friend Paul worked on the artwork for the machine. Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Hey, Paul. So internet, we've got 2 different layouts tonight. We'll probably bounce between them. We've got our standard layout here that we typically go with when we're doing stuff. We got chat down below, and then we've got like the lower view, which it looks like I hit my camera, but we're good. That it's a better shot of the screen back there. But something else that's fun to point out is throughout the evening tonight, we're going to be giving away these guys, Demigorgon sculpts. You know that bastard behind that wall that you got to bash in the face and put a ball in his mouth? Well, we got some of these to give away. So periodically through the night, I'm going to be having you all type something in chat, and then I'm going to be taking your information, giving it to Stern so they can send one out to you, because I suck at sending stuff out to people. So I'm great at giving stuff away, man. I'm terrible at making sure people get it. But yeah,
I don't even have one of those things, so
really?
You guys are going to be lucky. Yeah.
I don't even know why I have this. I don't know why it's here. I've had this for like months. I don't know. I think Roper brought it over to show me something and then left it.
There you go. It's yours now.
Yeah, baby. Well, it's soon to be the internet's. I want to win a badge. Okay, I shouldn't have said that out loud. All right. Well, I say we just jump in unless there's anything you'd like to
aboard,
cover. Kid. Mike, is there anything in particular you'd like to say about this before we get going?
There isn't, but Jack, if you could do my skill shot in the game, like I'll owe you a prize.
Oh, there's an Mxv Skill Shot now.
There's an Mxv Skill Shot that we added for 1.0, and it's really difficult, but it can be done.
Okay. Well, let's make some magic happen here. How do you do it?
All right, so I'll tell you because we put it in the README. So this one you don't have to discover. You have to plunge and hit the lit roving drop target.
Okay.
And then it has to land in the saucer on the left.
Oh, frick. Okay.
So, and if you do that, you get the Mxv Super Skill Shot.
All right. Let's see what we can do here. All right, let's switch over to this. Get the lower shot. Oh, yeah. I'm going to hit start, ladies and gentlemen. You let me know if the game is too loud, if I'm too loud. We did a brief sound check, but obviously nothing makes sense until we are live. So, Jekko, thank you so much for that sub. All right, can y'all hear the game? I sure can. Mike cannot, so he's going to have to play a little guessing game.
That's right. I know the sounds quite well from working on this thing for the past year.
Hell yeah. Mike can do it? All right. So, Mike, is there a specific letter I want to shoot for the skill shot?
When I did it on mine, I think I bounced it off of the second from the right, so if you're starting at the right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the end.
Oh, you got to be delicate with that too.
Yeah. So if you hit the drop target just right, one of them, I think it was the end, then it can bounce into the saucer.
Okay. So I'm going to try that again. Can I do that on any ball?
Any ball, yeah.
All right, cool. Let's try that again. I'm going to
But you have a finite amount of time, so you can't cheat and catch it on your flipper and then stuff it in there. You'll run out, it'll time out before you can do that. It's got to happen. It's timed out to happen off of the ricochet.
Okay, we got this. Dead Flip, turn down the game so we can hear Mike. Got it. All right, I'm going to get this right here. 3, 2, snap. Mike, this is impossible. Wait a second! Oh, damn. All right, never mind. Cool. So, Chad,
anyway, it could be done, but it is really, really hard. It's the hardest skill shot I've come up with yet.
Yeah. That I've concocted over the years.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the game down just a little bit more here. All right, there we go. Mike, are there any Easter eggs in the game?
You know what? I'm not sure what if any that Lonnie might have hidden in there, but
That's
if there
true.
are, they're for you to discover.
Lonnie was the gentleman who programmed this.
Yes, Lonnie was the lead programmer on this one. We also had some support help from a few folks like Brett Rubin, Wason, and those were the two that helped out the most.
Good old Wason. All right, let's make some magic happen. So, of significance, starting this game, is there anything that has changed drastically, or is it still I'm just trying to start a mode and rip through it?
Well, the modes are where all your points are, especially now, because we've toned down considerably the multi-ball's contribution to your bonus.
Okay.
So before, people were just playing multi-ball all the time. It was contributing way too highly. So now it's in your best interest to play and finish the modes and get as many drawings as you can, heading
drawings
towards the wizard modes. So
yeah. All right, so I'm gonna try to light my multi-ball here and then work on that left ramp. It still has the what is it? What is the name of this shot? The extra ball shot. can award
Oh yeah,
you.
the left inner loop. That shot will spot you towards a shot towards starting one of the first two modes, and then that goes away. So it's a helper there for the first two modes to get the modes lit faster.
Gotcha. I feel like it always wants to I feel like it chooses the left ramp first.
I think I forget if it goes from left to right or if it tries to help you what you have the most, or some combination of.
Yeah. Internet, are you able to see the TK lock in the front-facing camera? Probably. The screen's in the way. That's all right. So how is bonus calculated now since it's been changed?
It's this crazy convoluted math that I don't understand, but
math.
But the typical way of switch closures and stuff like in every game. Plus, you're however many drawings you have is given to you every ball, and then some of the other things like multi-ball does have a contribution. At the end, when it's showing you the different circles in your bonus, it's showing you where those points are coming from.
Got it.
So like Demogorgons, Demodogs, those also contribute to your bonus.
So
some things are persistent from ball to ball. Some things reset every ball. Like the switch count is per ball.
Okay.
But your drawing count is cumulative throughout the game.
Well, let's get some drawings. Now, are the drawings literally that? Are they like cute little drawings of things?
Well, it shows a video, and you collect a number of drawings, but the video is the same that we see every time you get one.
Dope. All right. Well, let's start my biggest thing right now is I don't know if I checked if the game was level before we went live, but I think we're good. It's being a little rude to me, but we're good. Okay, we're gonna bring multi-ball into a mode. Now, is there a drawing for playing TK? Well, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get one chance throughout the game. You can collect it once throughout the game, so it doesn't matter when you do it. But for getting a super jackpot in TK multi-ball, you get a drawing. However, if you get a double or a triple super jackpot in TK multi-ball, the time you collect a drawing, you can get 2 or 3 drawings.
2 or 3?
Yeah, but you can only get a drawing in one TK multi-ball. So once you collect it, whether it's a single, double, or a triple, that's it for the rest of that game. Yep.
Got it. Got it. All right, well, let's go for +1 drawing. Oh!
There you go. You got one.
There's a furious
and we added an extra ball, so if you get 11 drawings, you light extra ball.
Yo, more extra balls, please.
Yeah, so that one will happen, obviously deeper into the game, which is when you're going to need the multi-ball to kind of get you over the next big hurdle of, trying to get towards the final wizard mode. So that's why we added another extra ball with the drawings.
Dig it. I'm missing all my shots. I'm amazing at pinball. Mike, you're not here to blow this game up for me. I'm
not, but you know what? You'd think my skills would have gotten better over this pandemic, but because I do so much of my testing with just my, the glass off and the ball in my hand, I've probably gotten worse.
Oh no. Yeah, people would expect me to be a better pinball player because I play every day, but I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. All right, so we finished a mode. We finished a multi-ball. We've got 2 drawings on our plate now. Those 2 drawings will be something that help us out in the bonus, as Mike pointed out. All right, come on, baby. Is there anything new with the Demogorgons or anything?
No, those I believe we haven't changed those because we had finished those up a couple of revisions ago to the point that we were quite happy with them. Nice. You do, though, you can earn drawings in each demo dog mode. You can earn a drawing if you complete it.
Oh, the demo dog modes.
The demo dog modes have drawings in them. The demo Gorgon modes do not. Because they're pretty lucrative as it is.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the TV show, the cartoon Fairly Odd Parents?
I've never even heard of it.
Okay, then my reference of what I was going to say means nothing to you. Yeah, for folks asking, pinball machines are typically programmed at Stern in C++. So if you want to be a programmer for pinball machines, and you know said language, email mike.vinikor. I don't know.
I don't do any of the hiring when it comes to programmers.
Oh man.
in the old days, like we're talking like the Williams era of pinball machines, they used to program the games in assembler, assembly
yeesh.
language, and the video games as well, up until like the games went 3D.
Yeah, that's wild. All right, get up there. Is there what other big changes are there? Any changes to like total isolation, which we're quickly approaching?
No, we didn't change those either because, like I said, we were happy and those were pretty much polished up the way we liked them.
Dope. All right, we got a demo dog attack.
Yeah, so now if you finish this demo dog mode, you'll get a drawing. So to finish this one, you actually have to spell demo dog before the time runs out.
Yep.
By hitting the various targets.
Fun to do because these targets are.
This is a good mode to have a multi-ball going in because then, the work gets kind of half done for you. The balls flying around the playfield will pick off the harder to hit targets.
The tricky ones are the ones that are in the inside behind the drops when the drops are up. Those are
true. I find that the leftmost D and the G are the hardest ones for me because they're really hard to hit.
Yeah, G for sure.
The D and the G, like those are multi-ball usually aids you in that because when the balls start bouncing off each other, they'll eventually hit them.
How the hell would I hit that G on purpose? Ooh, we got a drawing.
Nice, you did it.
All right, we got to hit the G. I got an idea. We're gonna ricochet it off of nothing. Never mind, that didn't work. Demo dog. Well, that's cool. So it actually. So I'll tell you, I usually avoid demo dogs because shooting those things, it scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, now that's why I like to bring a multi-ball into it, especially now with the new drawing rule attached to it, because I want as many drawings as possible when I get to those wizard modes.
I like it. I took half a semester of assembler in college. Oh, yikes. I remember making very simple games in Visual Basic back in the day, ladies and gentlemen. Visual Basic. I'm 84 years old, by the way.
That would make me 184, Jack.
Damn straight, old man.
Yeah. And then that would make Brian 185 because he's just a little bit older than me, but not much. We're very close. Yeah.
Oh man. Internet, what else do you got? What else do you got? He's 40. I'm not freaking 40, Internet. Calm down. The real power of the drawing is for the 3 wizard modes. Oh, we played 3 balls already. Who's the last one to sub? Jekko, this is for you, buddy. J-E-C-C. Something that's been driving me nuts on initial boards lately. It's not every game, but when I finally hit enter, this does not suffer from that problem. Okay, it's center justified. Sometimes the names are left justified still.
Okay.
And it looks weird.
Give me a list of what those games are. And I'll run it up. I'll pass the grievances to the proper authorities.
Also, if we're nitpicking, I don't think people have 10 initials. I'm just saying.
Decoy, to answer your question, what would you tell somebody who would want to get working in the industry? Be prepared to work a lot of long hours regularly, depending on what part of the industry you get in. We work very hard, and we're known for having to work long hours regularly here in pinball, but console video games is probably 100 times worse, which I used to do. I was a console video game designer for 10 years before I came back to pinball, and it was grueling. That was a young man's game where he got, hey, I'm young, I'm single, I don't have a family to go home to yet, so I got nothing but time. I may as well work.
That was animation for me and why I got out of it, because I was working 27-hour days.
Yeah, it burned me out big time. So I'm glad to be out of that thing. And plus, my first love of any game was pinball, because that was my first exposure to it when I was a really young child.
I'm never going to get this effing Mxv Skill Shot. It's just going to happen one day. Bust out the Demogorgon. Could you go over a little bit more of like what happened on the README? I know there were some tweaks. There was some.
So the biggest thing
about photographs.
The biggest thing we added was the drawings, because we got in version 9.9, we got the last missing mode in, which was the the final showdown, wizard mode. So the drawings was the biggest thing on our plate to still add that on our initial to-do list. So that's the biggest part of this update. We also polished up the game a lot. We squashed a lot of nagging, outstanding bugs. Some of them were kind of obscure and hard to find. There's been some score balancing on this one for sure, especially in regards to the multi-ball. I think Lonnie added some more sounds and some more speech. I noticed when I played the final showdown the day we released it, so it'd be yesterday, I noticed some sound calls I hadn't heard in there before.
Oh, nice.
Especially some speech. He added some more speech in there, I believe.
Dude, the upside down...
The skill shot got added, obviously.
Oh, yeah. The upside
really,
down
that's the most important thing.
Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, but my skill shot was the most important thing. Do you really need anything else?
Yeah, right. Lonnie, get to it, buddy. Let's go. Screw these bugs.
Yeah, he got it in there. Yeah. Hey, he's like, Mike, should I fix these bugs? I'm like, no, put it in my skill shot, please.
Add more bugs.
The people need it.
All right, let's see if we can get the double. You said getting a... Oh, wait, I can shoot up the ramp for a bigger super.
Yeah, so if super's lit, lock will also be lit on the left ramp. And then you can lock 1 or 2 balls in there for either a double or a triple super jackpot.
All right, so we got 3 drawings from that. Whoa.
So you got the triple super. Nice.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's hard to do. I do the double a lot, but I always tend to drain a ball before I end up getting a triple.
Triple double. All right, 3 drawings. Sounds good to me.
So you've now maximized your ability to get a drawings because you only get 1 collection in a 2K multi-ball. So.
Oh, that's right, and you get 3 balls. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
So on a pro, because you can't get a triple super, you can only get a double. You can only get 2 drawings maximum
gotcha.
in TK multi-ball.
Still no dead flipper code. Yeah, I don't deserve them on all of them. We'll get there. Get up there.
If it makes it feel any better, Jack, I've never had a flipper code, so you got the one up on. You've topped me on that one.
Hey, there you go, internet. Oh, F. That's insane. Uni, thank you for the biddies. Yeah, score balancing is huge, and a good reason. Like, a lot of people will complain. They're like, "Why don't games just come with finished code?" Well, that's because input from people that own these games and play these games helps shape them into amazing pinball machines. So even if the game ships with like damn near finished code. Like, I'll give an example. If Walking Dead shipped with the code that it had, not to talk crap on our own games, I wasn't a fan of that game when it first came out. But where it is now is amazing. It is incredible how, like, you can listen to what the community has to say and fix things and adapt things to, like, make things better. And, like, this game has come such a long way. I love it.
Yeah, the 3 of us are really proud of the way this game turned out here in its, especially now in its, finished state of 1.0. And Brian and I have known each other for a very long time, like most of my career, and so I was really enjoyed being able to work with him so closely on a project. This is the most closely I've worked with Brian on something in my career in the 2 places we've been together. And then this is my 4th game working with Lonnie. And I really enjoy working with him because he and I have a really great collaborative relationship when it comes to doing games. I think we complement each other's strengths really well, and it's always a real treat for me to do a game with him.
Yeah, Lonnie's awesome.
And his eye for detail when it comes to the presentation of the games, how the visuals work with the light shows and the sounds, is just like. It's he's unequaled in that aspect. Like, he just makes the most beautiful presentations in his games.
Agreed. Oh, there you go. Brian's giving you a little.
Thanks, Brian.
He's gassing you up a little bit.
I was seriously, like, I was legitimately super excited when we were told Brian was coming to work with us, and because I wanted Brian to come back to pinball since he left pinball to go to video when we were at Midway Games. So this was a big deal for him to come back.
Wait, wasn't there something about Dart? And
Oh, you
his
can get a
evolution?
drawing from Dart now too. Yeah, if you evolve Dart to fully grown,
Yeah.
so he becomes then you get a drawing from that too.
When he's full grown. All right, let's stay up in these pops. Yeah, there you go. Evolve, baby. Dart evolved.
I like if I'm playing the quarter hunt mode, I love to just keep shooting the pop bumper, because not only are you building quarter hunt, but you're building Dart at the same time, so you could get, you're drawing from two things at once almost if you get some good pop bumper sessions up there.
Love it. All right.
And if you couple that with a multi-ball, quarter hunt can be a huge points fest.
Stay alive. All right. I do love that we have a new upside down, so it wasn't just the drops over and over.
Yeah,
again.
we have two varieties and it switches off. So you got one that's drops and you got one that's shots.
Yeah, I dig the shots for sure. I can neither confirm nor deny that statement. Wait, what? All right. I need an extra ball. Let's burn it back a little bit.
Bring it back, and I believe if you got if I'm seeing correctly, if you play one more mode, you will also get an extra ball lit for that.
Oh, three completed?
Yeah, if you get one at 3 completed, you get one for the 11 burn it back loops, and then there's some deeper in the game. You get one at 6 modes too.
And then one for draw rings.
Yes.
All right.
And then there's a mystery extra ball. It's pretty rare, but you could get one for mystery possibly.
There's our extra ball.
That was
baby.
that was a nice catch, by the way.
Thank you, my dude. I learned it from you, Mike.
If it was a drop catch, I would think that could be true, but the live catches I struggle with.
Man,
the drop catch was my specialty.
My mind is still blown when I successfully live catch a ball.
I've gotten better at it over the last year or two, but I still don't have the confidence level in a live catch versus my confidence level for drop catches.
Yeah. I feel that.
And then, if I play games with Keith, he can do that thing. He can live catch in his sleep,
Yeah,
But he's got a targeting computer in his brain.
Yeah, he's
so
a freaking robot, bro. You
He
can't
is.
compare yourself.
He's like the Terminator of pinball.
Oh, you said quarter hunt was good in the pops.
Yeah, so because quarter hunt, every switch closure, it's like a frenzy. Is scoring you points, and so if you throw the ball in the pops during quarter hunt, or balls if you're in a multi-ball, not only are you getting a bunch of points in quarter hunt, but you are also growing Dart, so you could really go to town trying to accomplish 2 drawings at a time.
That's huge. Double dipping.
751,300 points.
That's impossible. Dimmadog attack. Oh no. Doug Dimmadog.
So you got extra ball lit.
Hell yeah. And I'm gonna need it.
And mystery. Nice.
Oh, that was a dirty drop punch. Okay. We've got a Demogorgon lit, but it's the multi-ball one, so we're gonna save it for that mode. Oh. You just moan into your ear really quick, Mike. Sorry about that.
That's right. I've got the volume at a comfortable level, so it did not feel like shouting.
Oh, frick.
Tater Salad would like to know how you're doing the giveaways today.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a giveaway right after this game, and then we're just gonna space it out throughout the evening. Okay. Okay.
How are we gonna do it? Do you want to do should Brian and I come up with some trivia questions if we could come up with some in our head quickly, or do you want to just? I'll let you figure out how to give it away, Jack.
Hey, that's fine. You know what? Honestly, whatever takes more computer crap off of my plate. If you want to come up with something and you see an answer and you want to ask them for their details, let's freaking go. Or
all right, internet. After Jack finishes this game, I got a trivia question, and the first person to answer it correctly, will get the first giveaway.
Are Canadians eligible? Yes.
No Googling, people. You have to answer without looking anything up.
It's the internet. You think they're gonna Google?
Hey, I'm going on the honor system here, so that's why I'm not asking the question until it's time to do the giveaway. So.
That's fair. Internet, I'm not dust saving at the moment, so just relax. All right, we got another extra ball, so that's going to be longer for the giveaway.
Death saving is cheating, by the way.
Is it though?
Well,
You said that with a wink.
I have a self-serving death save rule. If I'm playing on a location and I paid money for my game to play it, then it's okay. But if I'm playing for free, or if I'm playing in my house, it's absolutely forbidden.
There you go.
And also, it's obviously forbidden in tournaments.
Oh, yes. That's a big no-no in tourneys. All right, so we're not going to get any drawings from this multi-ball because we have already collected the max, or we already got our drawing period from it. So
does Ask Jeeves still exist? I've forgotten all about that.
Lycos, can you, let's say I play a TK and I don't get a super jackpot, am I still eligible for that drawing in another?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're eligible for it until you get a drawing or drawings in TK multi-ball. So if you blow it 1 or 10 times, you could still get it until you actually collect a drawing in there.
Okay. Triple jackpot. Triple super? Double super. Boo.
No, Sneezer Dog. I'm going to be asking the question in the form of a question, so you just have to answer in the form of the answer.
All right, stay alive. Trapping up. All right, we got one more shot for mode. Whew. That right ramp and I are best friends. All right, here we go. Post transfer and put the ball up right into the Demodog post, exactly where I wanted it.
Too bad those posts don't score.
Yeah, please. All right.
I always wanted to have posts that score, so that way I could have a high scoreboard that was called Postmaster General.
Postmaster General.
Yep.
What was that? The first Rolling Stones pinball machine had one.
Does it?
Yeah, it has.
It had. Oh yeah, the Valley one, right?
Yeah, so it had that
game.
little horseshoe thing, and right in the middle was just a post with a rubber on it.
That's
but it was
right.
It was treated just like a slingshot, like in a spoon.
I forgot about that. I didn't even know it did that until the last time I saw that game, which is probably about a year and a half ago at a show.
Oh damn! I've actually never played it, but I love digging through IPDB and looking at weird stuff like that. All right, last ball, internet, and then Mike's gonna ask you what your social security number is, and you have to answer correctly.
Yes, in the chat.
In the chat, please, publicly. Oh my God!
And I need a credit card number to go with that.
That's coming back.
Here, you can have that one back.
Ask Jack if the door is locked. Oh! I should probably check to see if my door's locked. We don't want these creepy old Polish dudes walking in here thinking this is a casino. There it is. Okay, so now that we're in our last mode, we're gonna play our second Demigorgon, which is a multi-ball, to help finish this. Bear from South Carolina, what's up? Your wife and I play this game every night? That's awesome. Beep beep beep. Add time. Sounds good to me. Mike, did you do any voice work on this game?
No, nobody wants to hear my voice in a game. I've never been asked to do voice work.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. I would
do it, but I don't think that I'd be very good at doing voice work, to be honest with you.
It's monotonous as hell. They're like, that was a good read, but can you do it like 12 more times? With different inflection everywhere?
I tend to talk real fast, especially if I get excited about something.
Sure.
So I don't think that, I'd be very well suited for that. So, which is why I've never been offended that I haven't been asked in my career to do voice work.
All right, who was the last person to sub? Bambi, this is for you, bud. And here's a quick little GC. We did reset the scores, but it's still, whatever. Bambi, we're just gonna do Bambi. All right, so Mike has a question for you, internet, and I'm gonna show you what you're playing for. Okay? Now I think Mike is Googling.
No, I'm not, but give me 1 minute because I'm consulting with my lead here, Brian, on our first question.
Eggman, thank you so much.
He had one and I had one.
So, internet, on a technical side of things, just so you know, the the playfield camera that we have where it's like shooting forward, we use a GoPro Hero 8. Right now, GoPro Hero 8 cannot output live 60 FPS. That's why we can get it looking beautiful, but the frame rate is stuck at 30. So they need to come out with like a firmware update for that or something. But here's what you're going to be playing for. Let me pull
All right,
it
I have a question.
You got it?
Yeah. All right, so internet, what was the first pinball machine that Brian Eddy programmed in full?
In full.
Yes.
Ooh. The first... Is Jack's audio behind the video? No. You're behind the video. Are they going to know it?
So far, nobody's got. There we go. Tater salad wins. It was Pool Sharks.
So here's what's funny is we have a Pool Sharks here.
Yeah.
And like we brought that up a lot. We have a Pool Sharks here. Who designed that game?
Brian, could you answer that in the chat? Because I just don't remember off the top of my head who designed the playfield on that one.
Rigged. I totally cheated. What?
So Tater Salad gets the first prize there. Tony Kramer, he said. Yeah.
All right, Tater.
I never met Tony Kramer. I don't think he was still there when I came into the company, because that would have been about 5 or so years later after Pool Sharks, maybe 6.
He sadly died during the production. Oh, frick.
That's why I never met him then, because
that'll do it. That'll do it. That's a bummer. Pool Sharks, man.
Yeah. So Brian did do some work on other games, but the first full game he programmed was at Williams was Pool Sharks. And that's a cool game. I remember I used to play it when I was running the test program over there. One of the locations I had to stop at had a Pool Sharks, and I would always play a couple games on it when I would go visit over there.
I'm going to slide your face over on screen here a little bit.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Looking good, Mike. Looking good. Beautiful. Yo, Vic, thank you, buddy. All right. Let's get back into this. So let's pull this up. So, Mike, what is your... I know you do a lot of testing, so you might not even remember this, because honestly, I can't remember my own, but like, what's your highest score on this game?
It's somewhere in the low 1 billions, I think, if I'm playing with the glass on.
Okay.
You've probably gotten way higher than me, and like I said, I spent most of my time playing this thing with the glass off throughout the course of development, especially lately. So, but yeah, it's in the low 1 billions.
Nice.
But now the scoring's changed, so I really need to start playing with the glass on again, so I can get some new high scores, because those would be invalid at this point, because the bonus was so much higher from multi-balls.
Totally. Evil Bong, what he means by playing with the glass on is Mike has one of these games and he's testing it constantly, and it would be the biggest pain in the butt to have to pull the glass off every time something doesn't work, or you need to test a switch 100 times, or
Yeah, like if I need to play through the whole game, obviously I can't guarantee I could do that with the glass on, and play like normal folks, like if I was on a location or whatever. So I just keep the glass off usually when we're developing games, so I can just trigger things with my hand or just roll the ball with my hand into the shots to get through the game. Like every time we release a new code update, the last thing I do is just play through the entire game to make sure nothing's broken,
Yeah.
or nothing crashes. So to do that, the glass on, like I could go weeks and not finish the game, depending on how well I'm playing that week. So.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Do you have one of those fancy balls welded to a long piece of metal testers?
I had one. I think Lonnie swiped mine.
Because apparently those are like unobtainium.
Really?
Like when I was at what was I doing? We were watching like some testing going on at Stern, and we couldn't find one for the life of us for like a video we were shooting.
Normal folk are like civilians, like people that don't work, like that aren't developing the game.
Yeah.
So I don't mean that in a derogatory sense of normal folk.
The common folk.
Yeah, but yeah, Yeah, and to refer to them as commoners seemed kind of disrespectful. So. The civilians, will that suffice?
All right, that mode is toast.
Yeah, but I had the ball on the stick, and I think I gave it to Lonnie because he needed it more than I did for how he for where the game was in relation to his desk.
Got it.
So they had to make those one by one in the machine shop, I think. So
I haven't.
They didn't do that many.
I haven't seen you at Stern. I think I saw you once during this whole pandemic.
Yeah, I only go there to get if I have to pick up some equipment or drop something off. Like I'm there to pick up play fields, or if I need something else, I'll run in there. But it's pretty rare. Like all of us in product development is still working from home throughout this whole pandemic. So
yeah, but
my office, I repurposed part of my basement game room to be my office. So right now it's a disaster area because I've got more games than space because I had to bring home, some work dev cabinets.
Yeah, your work office is definitely doing double duty right now.
Oh yeah, I went in there and I didn't even recognize it. It looked like a tornado hit. They had all this stuff. They just completely commandeered it, and they're like, "Let's just put all this junk in here." And
there's parts everywhere. There's games everywhere. I think they're testing parts in there.
There's test fixtures in there. Like I don't even recognize the place anymore. Like I don't feel like it's mine anymore.
I'm sure we'll get it back.
I'm not mad. I mean, they're smart to use it for the people that do have to work in the building. Have at it. It would just be collecting dust otherwise until I come back.
This last update kicks ass. Yes, it does, Bear. Yes, it does. English. All right, there's
Bear
all my
from South Carolina. Thank you for the compliment. We're very proud of this update. We're proud of all of them, but this one in particular. But the drawings was something that I've been really looking forward to us implementing throughout most of this project, but it had to wait till the end just on how we chose to implement the different features.
That's a good question. So you do get a drawing for completing a mode, but on a mode like this, do you get an extra drawing for doing all the shots in order or anything?
You don't right now, but that's not to say that that maybe that could come in the future.
Nice.
I can't make any promises or guarantees, but
Mike just promised it.
It's something that we have discussed. I can
nice.
That much I could say.
Yeah, rewarding the that accuracy would be pretty nice. I am shooting the ball in the Demogorgon so freaking much, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
First, how am I doing this? It's so good. Eat it. All right. So we are in a Demogorgon mode. Shooting the Gorgon. We got an upside down. Is it still a mystery what starts upside down?
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole purpose of it was you never know when the upside down would, creep into your life, just like that what happened to Will in the show.
Perfect.
If you put it in competition mode, however, it is the same for everyone as far as when it would, the criteria for how it appears. So.
Oh, nice.
So you could use it in a tournament, and it's not going to become an unfair advantage or disadvantage. Everybody will get it at the same rate.
Cool. And Demodogs does timeout. Okay, we're gonna give these pups a minute to settle down and walk away.
But you miss out on your drawing if you just let it time out.
Wait, but can I get it again?
Oh, you got it once already? No, it's once per demo dog mode you can get a drawing.
Oh, okay. Tater Salad, by the way, send your information to DM your information to me and I'll just forward it to whoever needs to have it.
After this game, I've got a second trivia question, and then hopefully Brian will chime in with a trivia question soon as well.
Sounds good to me. Mike, how long are you interested in hanging out tonight on stream?
How long do you normally do this? I figured it's probably about 2 hours that you run these things, right? Or how long do you normally go?
2 hours. 2 hours is fine.
Yeah, I'm good for the whole thing.
Okay.
In my head, I had blocked out 2 hours because that's what I assumed that this thing would probably be.
Nice. We usually stream for about 3+ hours, but you're welcome to hang out. You can leave whenever you're ready.
Well, at some point I gotta still ride my bike because I need my daily exercise.
Just
I could always
listen.
move. I could always move my laptop into the next room, and you guys, I could, if you guys don't mind me like panting, you know, being out so blown up from being out of breath, like.
Mike, it's the internet. They love heavy breathing into microphones.
That's true. In fact, I believe that I've heard the stories of websites of just such things.
Websites
Anyway,
anyway.
I can always take you guys on the bike trainer with me, you know, and still answer your questions.
Completely out of breath. I love it.
Yeah, totally out of breath.
Mystery is lit.
Mystery is lit. Did you? So, what is the frequency of the bullshit mode? Is it just completely random?
It's totally random. Yeah.
Okay. Because it is exciting when you're in a multi-ball and you have bullshit running.
Oh man, yeah, that's the best time.
So
yeah.
So good.
It also, like, I've heard that mode more than probably anybody at this point, and it still makes me laugh every time I get it. Especially if you get it, especially during a multi-ball when you're getting it to say the word bullshit so often.
Yeah, I love all the variances of the word bullshit.
Yeah, that was Lonnie's doing the variances. I thought it was brilliant when he played it for me. I just laughed my ass off. I thought it was so funny.
Spinner value. All right, let's shoot this shot. Fridge. All right, what ball are we on? You have your question lined up, Mike. You're ready to go?
I do, yeah.
Heck yeah. All right. Oh, that would have been the Mxv. It was just a touch too.
Pocket hole shot. I don't know what our deal was with David Harbour, but so I don't know if he got a machine or not.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
If he did.
Ball one locked.
The Q from the Impractical Jokers has been showing off his entire collection on his show lately.
Oh yeah, I saw like a picture online of him showing off a couple of the games, a couple of his Stern games.
Every episode now is him sitting in front of like 3 or 4 Stern pinball machines.
Oh, there you go. David Harbour does have a machine.
Oh, he does? Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brian confirmed it.
If I didn't give a crap about pinball, just as like a normal person, if my voice was in something like this, 100% I would want one. Just for the shit. Like, this is a trophy, you know? This giant light up trophy that has my voice in it.
Oh yeah, if I did voiceover work, for sure I would want a game. Like, for that very reason. It's like, here's something I did that's pretty special.
I started double scoring. Imagine I don't hit this last shot and finish the mode. Oh, I'm gonna be so upset.
3 modes to light extra ball. I'm sorry, did I stutter? I told you.
Did I stutter? I told you everything. I wish I had a machine. I have a UV kit. Wait, what? You have a UV kit without a machine? I'm sorry?
Hey, you got to start somewhere. You start with the UV kit, and then you get the game next. There's nothing wrong with that.
Work your way up, dude.
Yeah. It's like when CDs, you know, were new, when that was the format was just, I had like 4 CDs before I ever had a CD player.
That's amazing.
I would go over to my friend's house. His dad was like the first person I ever knew that had a CD player. And then,
listen to this.
And then, so I brought over there like a cassette tape to tape the CD that I bought. It's like a
oh
little
my god,
car.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Hey, here's a trivia question. What was the first CD I ever bought? Internet. I'll give you a hint. It was a punk rock band, and at the time, the CD did not have a vinyl or a cassette version of it. Those didn't come for a few years later.
Huh.
If somebody can answer that, they get a prize.
Was it Sloppy Seconds?
It was not the Sex Pistols, but 80s punk rock is the biggest clue I'll give you.
Clean. All right, so we gotta. Oh, there you go.
Brian wins the prize.
Wait.
Yes, it was the Misfits.
Brian Eddy gets his own Demigorgon.
Brian, you get your own Demigorgon, and Brian probably has a whole basement full of them.
no doubt. No doubt.
So now, Brian, Brian, you now that you won a prize, you have to re-gift it to somebody. So think of a question to put in the chat for somebody to answer.
Extra ball. Mystery.
Add a ball. I don't want to keep. Oh, okay. We have a wizard mode ready to go. Total isolation.
Double flip. Yeah, I didn't get sick with the COVID and lose the weight, but I did lose it during the COVID pandemic. Yeah, right before COVID, I got real sick, and then not with that, but and it kind of woke me up of like I need to drop some weight. So when spring hit, I started walking multiple miles every day, like 7 to 10 miles a day, every day.
That's wild.
And then I bought a new bicycle, and I started bike riding too. And then I cut down the amount of food I ate in a day and quit drinking soda. So all those things combined, I dropped 45 pounds since the beginning of March.
Jeez, dude.
And I'm in better shape now than I have been in over a decade, and I physically feel better than I have in ages.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. Nothing feels better than getting healthy, bro.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When I'm back on the road, those In-N-Out burgers and the Waffle Houses are still going to be frequented daily by me. But now I'll burn off a lot of those calories by probably also frequenting those hotel gyms to get on the treadmill or an elliptical or something every day, you know?
Yeah, bud.
So now, before I would just eat and then just sit and just grow, and now I burn off a lot of the calories I eat. Yeah, so now I burn off the calories, so it's more of a balance. Like I'm at a very comfortable weight for me now. I feel great. So as long as I can maintain where I am now, like I'll be very happy.
That's great, dude. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And I never would have thought in a million years like I would ever have dropped any weight, let alone as much as I did.
I was very blown away on this game that the magnet was able to sit there and hold a ball for like an entire game, but then I realized you guys are using a rare earth magnet.
Yeah, it's not a powered magnet, so there's no heat whatsoever.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That was Brian.
So smart.
Brian's bit of genius there coming up with that one, because you know he wanted to have the magnetic ball lock, but it's like, how do we hold it there and not have it overheat? Yeah. And it was pretty brilliant what he came up with there, him and the mechanical engineers.
Who was the lead ME on this game?
It was Rob was we had two, but they shared duties, but Rob I think would be considered more of the lead.
Oh, nice. Good old Rob, who has the most amazing looking beard right now.
You know what? When I see it, the first couple of times I saw him on a Zoom meeting, I didn't even realize who it was, like, because I hadn't seen him in so long. I'm like, who's this guy with the epic beard? And it was Rob.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh man, internet! I'm just now realizing that I have chat on this screen, and I didn't mean to leave it on there. So hopefully, it's not too distracting.
Oh, I noticed that too. I thought that was intentional. Check your GoPro camera of the playfield, you know, where we could see the projector and everything. It looks fantastic.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, it's just running. It's running at half frames, just from GoPros. The new GoPros have like an output problem right now.
Oh wow! But it's still like to have the overhead and that angled shot. It's a nice variety. I really feel like I could see everything.
Yeah, thanks. The framing of it with like an image on the left and right for the masking came from some good friends of mine who stream out of France. But we've tried this lower angle before, but usually where the like image is on the sides, you're just seeing like wires and wall and crap like that. But yeah, it's
what you guys did with the images is perfect.
Crop it in. Dang. So what's is there anything you think that's still on the docket for this game, or are you thinking like you got everything in 1.0, like all the modes are in, everything's good?
Well, yeah, we have everything we had planned, the three of us, to go into this game. You know, the goal was to get it all in for 1.0. So there's nothing missing as far as game features go for what we had planned and the scope of our project.
I remember I finally got to Final Showdown like a few code updates ago, and I was over the moon. I was like, hell yeah! And I shot the shot to start it. Then it played a video, and it was like, there you go. And I was like, wait a second, it wasn't in. I was so upset.
Oh, it wasn't in yet.
No.
That was in version 9.9 was where we first introduced Final Showdown.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. Have you played it since the 9.9 release? I don't know if you got there when we released that last code update.
I don't think I've gotten to Final Showdown. I've come I think like 2 shots away. I think, what was I missing? I was missing something. Maybe it was like a demo dog or something. I don't know what it was.
It's really fun, and it's a 7-part wizard mode, so there's 7 stages to it.
Holy frick. All right, Internet, after this game, Mike's got a question for a Demigorgon
I do,
head.
yeah.
A Demigorgon head. Okay, this game's gonna go a lot faster than I thought. Cool drain, cool drain. Got it.
Here, you can have that one back.
You can have that one back. Folks, if you have any questions for the designer, Brian Eddy, he is currently in chat. His name is BRE. He's got BRE_Stern_Pinball. He's got a little diamond next to his name. If you have any questions for him. Same gentleman that designed Attack from Mars, Medieval Madness, The Shadow. Programmed a lot of pinball machines in his time. Jack will get your info. Oh. Listen.
Pocket, send a DM to Jack with your information, and then he'll pass it on to
Stern.
us at Stern to send you out whatever we're sending for your prize.
A Demigorgon. Now, I'll say I'm limited on how many Demigorgons I'm allowed to give away, but I'm sure if we give 1 or 2 extra, I'm not going to get castrated. I think you... At the very least, you could have the one I have here at the studio.
There you go.
I've put my fingers all over the thing, so you're gonna have to clean it. But it's ready for you.
Yeah, I definitely do not want to pull the one out of my game here in my home office. Like I need it, So like, otherwise my game would be incomplete.
Oh damn! What is it? Is the game still playable if you remove the sculpt off of there? Is it like a creepy robotic red mouth?
It's there's a metal fixture underneath there, so
yeah,
you could still play it, but it would be even harder to get the shot into the hole because the shape of the Demogorgon's open mouth kind of influences the ball to roll in there.
You're right. You're right.
So you'd have to be way more exact without that sculpt on there.
True.
But I think when Brian and I did a presentation of the making of Stranger Things, we did a virtual one for the CAX show.
Oh yeah.
I believe Brian had pictures of one of the early Whitewoods where we just had the metal on it. I don't remember if it had the sculpt yet or not, or maybe it could have had a 3D printed temporary one. I forget.
Dude, 3D printing is so wild. Hit the shot, Lamau. Oh my god. Hit the shot, you ding dong.
I saw like a link to a little article online where somebody figured out how to 3D print custom records for the old Fisher-Price turntables.
What?
Yeah, like those Fisher-Price record players.
Yeah.
And I have one of those original ones from when I was a kid. So like I sent the link to my friend, and it was like the whole thing of here's how you take a song file and you can make it into where you could make this record out of it and then 3D print it. So I sent the link to a friend of mine who's got a couple 3D printers. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to need you to print me some records for my Fisher-Price record player.
That is wild. I mean, I wonder, as those get more precise, you're probably going to be able to bootleg some vinyl soon.
There you go. Well, you mean, on a Fisher-Price record player, it's just got like, it's like almost like a fork notches inside the thing. Yeah, the notches.
Just take your favorite 4-chord punk songs and burn them to a Fisher-Price
Yeah, I mean,
record.
I could put any Ramones song on the Fisher-Price table, and it'll probably sound pretty authentic.
That's awesome. Dead Flip has the best looking. What's up, Greg? Love you, Red. Extra ball. I'm surprised the stream's holding up. Usually, my computer hates all these cameras and Zoom at the same time. And it's almost like Mike's here. Can you believe it? Look at him. He's right there on screen.
I feel like I'm right there in the room with you almost.
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 Get up there.
Man, it's amazing what technology allows us now. A couple of years ago, we would not have been able to do this during like a pandemic like this. You know, it's pretty amazing. I love some technology is awesome.
Some of it.
Yeah, but you know, I don't give a crap about all that streaming music nonsense. Like, just give me some old-fashioned vinyl records any day of the week. But I'm all for this technology of being able to Zoom and connect with people virtually like this with video.
I love it. Brian is working there. Just fun as hell. Oh, at Stern? Yeah. Listen, everyone at Stern, when you're there, they are working hard and they work long, right, to build these awesome things for you, but they all look like they're having a damn good time.
Yeah, I mean, we all got into the pinball and the game industry because we are all big fans of games. We're very passionate about them. We love them. We're fans of the games first and foremost, which makes, you know, it's a real treat to get to do something you love, like to do it for a living.
I mean, with what goes into these machines, you would have to love what you do to work in pinball.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it could be very stressful. It could be a lot of long hours at times. Sometimes it could be frustrating, you know, and exhausting. But, you know, for all of us, it's worth it because we love, you know, I love pinball, you know, so much. I love games. So, you know, it's worth it for all of us.
Heck yeah.
And I genuinely like every single person I work with at Stern, which is really a rare thing to say. Usually you go to a company and you're like, I like these people and I don't like some people, but I like every single person I've ever come in contact with in that company.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so I got a trivia question for you.
Let's go. Pretty cool. Except that one guy.
Yeah, in keeping with, if you won a prize, you cannot win two, one per person per stream. So, in keeping with the theme of what was Brian's first project, what was the first project I worked on at Midway Games when I started my career there? I'll give you a hint. It was a video game. It was not a pinball machine because I got hired on the video side when I entered the industry. And this would have been 1994. So what was the first game I worked on at Midway Games?
Look at all the cool stuff you could do with this. You could put it on a bottle. You could probably... obviously, it's a collector's item, but you could probably figure out how to smoke a tobacco product out of this thing. There's a whole lot of things you could do with this. Look at it. It's terrifying. Galaga? Vinikor's not that old, bro.
Yeah, and Galaga was made by Namco. I'm old. I played Galaga a ton when it was new, but I was a kid then.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. Nobody's listed it yet. I've got some people that have gotten in the right time frame, roughly.
Pong. Pac-Man.
Pong, yeah. I remember playing Pong in the arcade like when it was brand new. I mean, I am that old, but
that's wild. The projected art is nuts. Isn't that great, Mitch?
All right, Hobbit's third flipper, you got it. It was Revolution X.
Wait, you worked on the Aerosmith shooting game?
Yeah, do you want to know how my career life came full circle? So when I got into the game industry, if you exclude working in an arcade, which I did before I came to work at Midway, Williams Valley Midway, my first project I got hired to work on was Revolution X, which was an Aerosmith themed game, right? One of the first two projects I worked on, which they both started for me at the same time when I started my first day at Stern, was an Aerosmith game. So like I started doing, game testing, QA stuff on an Aerosmith game. My career went completely full circle where I came back to doing QA stuff largely as a big part of my job at Stern, and I worked on an Aerosmith game. It's one of my first two projects.
That's wild. Hobbit's third flipper. Send me your information. DM me on Facebook, Twitter, here on Twitch, anywhere. Everyone that's winning something tonight, send me your name and your mailing address, and I will forward that off to the appropriate folks to send you what you want.
I had a Revolution X game in my house for a while back when I worked there. And for the people that said Mortal Kombat 3 was the second project I worked on at Midway Games. And that was but Mortal Kombat was the reason why I even got my foot in the door there. So that was what brought me to the dance. And then I didn't get to dance for that one until the second project.
Dude, that's wild. God, even like when I was a kid seeing that game, I'm like, this is an Aerosmith shooting game. What am I looking? Aerosmith and Aliens. Like, where I wanted to be in that room where they pitched this to the band.
Castro, I used to wear a size large shirt. Then I grew into XL, and I was dangerously close to outgrowing XL at the beginning of this year. Right now, I could wear XL shirts still, but they're kind of loose on me, and I can wear most large shirts comfortably, unless they're like weird and run a little small. So I haven't given any up, but I do regret, like, I gave one of my really good friends and his son all my size large shirts when after 2 or 3 years of hanging on to them, I still couldn't fit into them because I was only gaining weight. And now I kind of wish I never gave them away because I could fit in them all again, but I can't make those guys return all those clothes, you know? But they got some really good shirts I was sad to give up.
Lots of drugs. Oh, for Revolution X. Guys, I got this great idea. Aliens. And you're fighting them, and music is the weapon. We have an ultimate MK3 cab. Oh, nice.
Mitch Mitchell, I was given a Mortal Kombat 3 dedicated machine when I worked there, which I still have in my basement. And I have all four Mortal Kombat board sets, so I can switch between them at will.
Dude, that's dope. Do you have any
eventually I want to do it.
Cool, rare like video game shit from working at Williams back in the day, just like sitting in boxes at your house?
Not so much anymore, because when I had fell on some hard times of lean years of unemployment or whatever, I sold off a lot of that stuff to keep the lights on, because I had a couple of long stretches. Yeah, but I have a few treasures that I'll never get rid of, but I had a lot more. Like, I sold like all the promo shirts I used to have, even though they were used, they were clean. People like went crazy for that stuff. They wanted it. I
want a bunch of like those old promo pinball patches that they used to come out with when they launched games.
Oh yeah, like Sega or Data East and Sega did patches for the games, pinball. And Lonnie has a complete set of all the patches that the company throughout its iterations of Data East, Sega, Stern.
What?
When they would make the patches, Lonnie ask him like when you're going to be at Stern sometime. He'll bring in the jacket and show it to you like when the day comes.
I think he's shown me a picture of that.
Yeah, it's pretty. I wish we still made those patches. I mean, they stopped that many years before we ever came on board, Brian and me. But yeah, it's something I would love to see them bring that back, because I would proudly save something like that for all the projects I work on, and I would get to work on them all, so I would have a complete set of the modern games if we started that.
Yeah, dude, I'd rock some patches if we started making those things again.
Yeah, you could put them on that jacket you wear. It would be perfect.
Bro, my cool guy jacket? Heck yeah.
Yeah. Your pinball biker vest.
Yeah, man. Real bikers, please don't beat me up. Lonnie's Mad
Arcade
Pinball
Hunters,
patch.
I've never seen it on IP, but I would assume it might be, because I don't know anybody else that has a jacket with all the patches. Like he might be one. He might be the only one.
One of one.
Because Lonnie's been at the company since it started.
Yep. There's a lot of pinball people. I'd love to dig through their like attics and basements. Like I'm sure Steve Ritchie's sitting on a bunch of crap he doesn't realize he has. I'm sure Brian Eddy's got a whole bunch of crap somewhere in a storage locker with just amazing stuff.
Yeah, Brian was a lot like me, where he was a saver. Like, we would save things that we thought were cool or of historical merit.
Yeah. I still do that. Anytime I do anything, I put shit aside. I'm like, this will be worth something someday. But then I look at some of the crap I have from like 10 years ago. I'm like, this is absolutely worthless.
Yeah, I downsized, largely for money reasons when I needed it, but also for space reasons,
Yeah.
It got to be like overwhelming, where I'm like, man, even at the time I was still living alone, it was just taking up so much space. I'm like, I'm not going to need all this stuff. Like, I'll just keep the stuff that really like is the most important to me. Like I've turned down big offers for that Mortal Kombat machine because it's a dedicated one in beautiful condition. It never has been operated. But I'll never sell it because of the sentimental value of what that means to me is way too great. You can't put a price on that.
Hell yeah. No comment to that one, Jack, but I'm a bit of a classic pinball video pack rat. Brian, no doubt, bro. No doubt. Frickin' frick. Brian's probably got like a whole shed that he built just for like old pinball stuff. What the thing that kills me, who was I talking to? It might have been Lyman. He's like, I had all these beautiful back glasses from all these games that I've collected over the years. And he's like, I kept them all in this box. And I finally opened it like 10 years later and all the art had just flaked off of them.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
You need to like seal them. You need to like climate control these things.
Yeah.
Now he just has a box full of glass with a bunch of crumbled up lead on the bottom of the box.
Oh yeah, and back then it probably was lead paint.
Yep. Yeah, that's the worst. Demogorgon. So Mike, on this game, can you point out some things that you had a huge influence over?
The drawings one was I lobbied for that. That, you know, big time. So that's something I pitched from, I think, almost the beginning. Brian, correct me if I'm wrong. But it was a pretty good split. Like, you know, depending on the rule, one of us, you know, would have pitched it, and then the other two, you know, signed off on it. Some of the ideas came from any one of the three of us, and it evolved over, like, somebody came up with the idea, and then somebody else said, well, that sounds good, but what if we took that and did this with it? Or through the course of developing the stuff, especially in the second half of this year, Lonnie and I did a lot of iteration and made some minor tweaks to some stuff just for the fact that we thought that they would play better.
Right on.
But it was a pretty good split amongst the three of us, you know, like, and we were a great three-man team where our strengths complemented each other. So like each one brought like unique things to the table, and then they all meshed really well together. So
that's great. That's awesome to hear that this was like a super big team effort to make this thing come together.
It was, and you know, having a three, usually it's like two leads, like you get the lead programmer and the lead designer. Like, I'm not usually that kind of as big of a factor on a project. So I was really honored when Brian asked me to be, you know, to have a bigger role than I usually do.
Totally.
And then like I said, the chemistry was really good between the three of us, where it was a really successful three-man team, I feel.
Love it.
And it was good because like I had a good relationship working with both of those, Lonnie and Brian, independently of each other. So kind of the common ground between those two who never worked together was me. So it really, like I said, it just worked out great. Like I had a fantastic time working with these guys.
So you're saying you were the most important part of this game come to life?
Absolutely. I was the glue that held the whole thing together.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. No, we got along. We got along great. You know, things. You know, sometimes when people get really excited about things and they really believe in their thing. You know, I'd be lying if I said there might not have been some heated discussions, but you know, nothing bad. It was just, you know, three guys that love games so much, you know, trying to do what's best for this game.
Is there anything on this game that was like, what was the most contentious decision made on this game, you think, between the three of you?
God, I don't know that we really had something
that you could publicly say.
I'll defer to Brian on that because I don't really, nothing sticks out. Like, if we had, Lonnie has this saying that he always likes to say, which is 100% true, is, you know, you can write something down on paper and believe it's the greatest thing in the world, but the game will tell you if it's good or not, and
Amen.
The game will let you know what it needs.
Yep.
So there's, you know, if somebody could have come to the table with a rule and we're like, all right, we'll try it this way, and then we'll try it this guy's way, and the game will tell us which is the better one. So we probably had a couple of things like that.
Brian says he's still scarred from the experience.
Yeah. The only thing I'm scarred from, Brian, is like the amount of hours the three of us were locked in that room upstairs, like fleshing out the whole game. just the amount of time. Like You know you've been in there a long time when your Apple Watch tells you it's time to stand up. You know?
Oh no! Did you guys have a lot of your meetings at Stern, or did you?
Yeah,
like,
they were all
offsite?
they were all at Stern because
Nice.
this was all done like last year.
Yeah.
So we would find whatever meeting room was vacant, where the three of us could sit down, and oftentimes with a couple of artists to do the storyboards and whatnot.
That's awesome.
And sometimes we'd be up there for half the day or more.
The crow's nest up there.
Yeah, we were up there a lot.
I like it up there. It's quiet.
Hey,
It's
you call me first.
There's no chance of randos just walking in on you.
That's true, yeah, because that door's not, you can lock that door so people can't just walk in there.
I sleep in there a lot. I had to lock the doors. They kept trying to leave. They kept, you're not going anywhere until we figure out this upside down shit. Come on.
Complete the bottom lanes to light mist.
Stay alive. Mike, did you ever...
Cult Fiction really wants to know my favorite Brady Bunch episode. I actually have an answer to this.
Uh-oh.
It's where they went to Hawaii and then they got the tiki that gave everybody bad luck, and Vincent Price was in it. He was
I'm
like
pretty
the
sure
deal.
that Brian Eddy answered that question, because I feel
Really?
like I just read that in chat somewhere. Internet, look at this UV kit, bro. Wild. The problem with UV is trying to capture this with a camera is kind of a pain in the ass. You could tell it's doing something, but boy oh boy, pointing a camera at it doesn't do it justice.
Brian, you picked the same episode. That was the most. I mean, I would imagine a lot of people would probably pick that tiki episode. It was easily the most memorable one ever.
Him and Brian had the same episode answer. Oh, nice. Speaking of, was there ever an idea for reverse flippers in the Upside Down?
No, like I don't even really know how you'd pull that off successfully and have it be fun. Not to say that it's impossible, but
Like
I don't know.
Ghostbusters did it, but like the
oh
smart
no,
people
Ghostbusters
just
had reverse flippers.
Yeah.
I think they're talking about Are you talking about reversed where you cross?
where
hands,
they're
like
up
Ghostbusters?
constantly and you flip to make them. That would be fricked. Oh
Yeah.
man.
If you're talking about reverse flippers, no, because it was done in some other games, and that's reversed versus upside down. It's like cross-handed more than I view as that as being an upside down thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting if the flippers were constantly up and you had to flip to drop them.
Yeah, that's what I
then you let go
misread
to-
it as thinking that. Like I don't even know how you pull that off mechanically, but yeah, I mean Simpsons had the reverse flippers, Ghostbusters had it, and I'm sure some other games have it.
Mike, this skill shot's frickin' impossible, bro.
It's really really hard.
That's why it's the Mxv Skill Shot.
Yeah. I mean, historically, all my skill shots have been fairly difficult to do, but not impossible.
Yeah.
The funny thing is when we put the first one I ever had was an Iron Maiden, and I used to do that when I was playing the Whitewood all the time, which was how I came up with it. Like, I'm like, oh, this would be a great skill shot, and then when Keith said, yeah, we'll put that in the game for sure. You can have a skill shot in my games. Then after Rick coded it in there, like when it got to 1.0, I couldn't do it for the longest time. I wanted to show my friend, and I was like,
Check
I
this
can
out.
do this, I swear. And like he was over at my house for like 3 hours. We were playing before I finally nailed the skill shot where he could see it.
That's awesome. I swear my name's on here. My
I think
favorite
of
part was
the-
when it ended. Wow.
I think of the games that I have a skill shot in, the easiest one for me to do is the Deadpool one.
That is the full plunge. Wait.
Yeah, full plunge, and then you shoot the
Into a
right
snicked.
orbit, and then
Oh.
no, you shoot you full plunge, you shoot the right orbit, and then the katana,
The katana
ramp.
ramp. Okay.
Yeah,
So full plunge, then it goes around again, and then you katana ramp.
yeah. So it's
Got
a
it.
three-way combo basically.
Heck yeah. We're gonna get this thing.
Second place, Andy. When we released that Deadpool update a few weeks ago, and I was working on it with Tanyo. This is the first time I'd played the game in almost a year, probably, and it took me a couple days, but I nailed that skill shot twice in one game for the first time in ages, and it made me very happy to see my skill shot again in action.
Man, I want to see Deadpool is just it's such a great game, and I want to see Tanyo as a lead on something else, man. Like I feel like I haven't heard his name on a machine since like Deadpool doing anything. So I'm excited to see what
he's worked on. A lot of different things since Deadpool. He's a hugely important part of our team in many aspects. Tanyo wears a lot of hats, and one thing I really respect about Tanyo is that he's always like the first person to volunteer to help somebody, no matter what it is, or even if it's even part of his job. Like he's such a great help for all things in our department when people need things, and he's very smart. So he learns things very quickly. I really enjoyed working with him on Deadpool, and I really enjoyed revisiting Deadpool with him just recently. He had a great sense of like mapping out the flow and the stacking, and we revisited some of that stacking. That he had some fantastic ideas for that he ended up implementing. That I thought were great when he pitched them. When he threw them by me for my opinion, I'm like, this is great. I think we should do that.
He's what he did with Deadpool was just next level, man. He made a fighting game out of a pinball machine.
Yeah, that was like their goal. I mean, it was to let's have like a 16-bit fighting game inside of a pinball machine,
and it worked.
It turned out it worked. Yeah.
I just got to turn this chat off. It's like driving me insane. There we go. Okay, we're good. Click. Mike, Deadpool is Jack's favorite game. Ask him. Yeah, I'm an idiot and I won't stop talking about it.
It's a fantastic game. It's a lot of people's favorite game, which is really nice to see. It's a lot of fun.
Yep. Not exceptionally, the mystery and horror aspects fit better with pinball. Yeah. Listen.
Yeah, I mean, I like the humor and stuff in Stranger Things, but to me, that's like the palate cleanser of what got me hooked on the show, which was like the spooky and the horror and mystery aspects of what's this upside down business and these alien creatures and whatnot.
Yes.
That's really what got me hooked in the thing, and then that was just the icing on the cake.
Yep. Yeah, buddy.
So we kind of focused on that stuff, and then we sprinkled in some stuff like the bullshit mode and some of the lines we were able to use, the call outs and stuff, add some comedy to remind you of those things. But yeah, for pinball though, it would seem way more interesting to do the more supernatural elements and whatnot.
Do you think a Golden Girls pinball machine would work?
I was never a big fan of that show. I'll ask my sister because she loved that show.
Man, I watched the crap out of that. Designing Women. I was all over those shows for some. You got me, bro.
Saw the '80s vibe was another hook for me for sure for Stranger Things. Because at my age, like my teenage years were in the '80s, so that was like prime. I could really relate to what those kids were living. Because that was my era. I was just a little bit older than they are in the show during those years.
Heck yeah. +1 drawing. So, Mike, you're essentially any game that comes out of Stern, you will have in your place, and you'll be beating the crap out of it to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to.
That is correct. Like, you guys can't see it, but if you were to see the disarray that's my basement/office here at home, I have so many playfields piled up on the floor now that it's taking up the space of more than one pinball machine. So I have a couple of development cabinets and I swap them in and out, sometimes multiple times a day. But I work on every single game we do, and I'm typically juggling 2 or 3 at a time.
In fact, the heavy metal we have came from your house. Like it
correct, yeah. I brought it back so we could bring it to you, yeah.
Yeah.
When I was done with it and I brought it back to the office last week, Wason enticed me to do it quicker by bribing me with some lunch, which was very nice of him.
I love that kid.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It was one of the nicest things that happened to me this year. Wason said, hey, can you bring back that playfield? Because we wanted to get it to you, Jack. And I said, sure, I can bring it any day this week. He goes, can you bring it tomorrow? He goes, if you do... He's like, if you do, I'll pick up Johnny's beef for lunch and bring it to the office for you. And I haven't had Johnny's beef since late last year, because, I'm not working in the office. right now? And I'm like, absolutely. You know, I would have done it. I would have come by tomorrow no matter what, but you just made it even better. So,
Man, I haven't.
and he bought that for me and brought it to work, you know, on his way in, and that was so nice of him. It really like was the highlight of that week for me.
That's awesome. I haven't had a good Italian beef sandwich in a long time. Yeah, Wason's a pretty genuine dude.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Is it Megis or Megas? I'm going to go with Megis. That Scott Pilgrim movie was fantastic.
Yeah. And there was a video game for it.
Was it really?
I think it might have been like an indie team that made it though.
Okay.
But yeah, I loved that movie, and every person in that movie ended up being like a DC or Marvel superhero. Like
I should go back and rewatch that. It's been a long time.
It's wild.
But I thought it was real clever.
Crow, by the way, there is a pinball machine called Knight Rider, but it isn't about Knight Rider.
It's with no K. It's Nighc. It was like a trucking theme.
It was about a truck stop and a young lady serving a meal.
I remember that being a pretty fun game, Knight Rider.
Yeah, Knight Rider's pretty cool. I think there was one at Stern for a while.
Oh, really?
I think Ed Robertson won it in an auction at Expo, but he couldn't bring it all the way to Canada, so it just lived in Jody's office forever.
Isn't that Arch Rivals also Ed Robertson's game, or is that somebody else's?
And then we have like the Gen 1 Big Buck Hunter in the cafeteria.
One in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, even
I don't know if Ed's watching, but Ed, if you're watching, are we charging you are we charging you rent for these things?
That thing's huge. I don't think Roth Rills even has like a Gen 1 Big Buck Hunter. I told the Big Buck Hunter team that there was one of those in the Stern kitchen. They're like, what the hell?
Wow. You know what? I bet I could guarantee you George Petro saved that. He's another guy kind of like Brian and me, where he saves a lot of stuff, you know, like historical artifacts.
Dude, the Petros are, I love those folks. Getting to know the Big Buck Hunter community and doing all their show commentary and stuff has been pretty wild. And getting to become friends with Mark Ritchie in an environment that has nothing to do with pinball was pretty cool.
Oh, too. Yeah. When I worked over there at Play Mechanics for a few years, the highlight of my working there was absolutely working with Mark Ritchie. It was just fun to hang around him and talk pinball and anything else. He was easily the best friend I had at Play Mechanics when I worked there.
Play Mechanics is what I was trying to say. I kept saying Roth.
Yeah. Well, they're
it's like the same difference, but not really.
Well, it's the Roth Thrills is the parent company, so they own Play Mechanics basically. Yeah. So it's all one big family split into two studios.
Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. All gas, no brakes machine. I just flipped without looking. Check out the left-hand spinner and the low-angle camera. It has a hypnotism effect. Oh yeah, it's got
Yeah, it's got that pulsing spiral artwork going on it.
I wonder if I could get you a cool shot of that, but it's pretty sick. NDI. We'll see if my NDI stuff's working. I'll get you a close-up of it. Turn off the microphone. Yeah, that should work. Let's see. All right. You know what? We're not going to do that because I'm going to lose Mike. Forget it. Just look at it, Internet. Would you look at it? Swip. So I did not know that putting the ball in the pop bumpers is helping me through quarter hunt.
Oh yeah, because it's a frenzy mode. So what gives you the most switch closures in a frenzy mode is spinners and pop bumpers. Yep.
Yep. Hell yeah. Spinners and pops. Take your puny haul. Can you show the cabinet art? I mean, I can. Yeah. Here, I'll do it anyway. I'll copy Mike over. I'll grab Mike and I'll swip him over. We'll see if this works. All right, so let's see. Grab Mike. Got him. Go to remote. Hopefully this works. It did not work. Oh wait,
I
hold
just
on.
I just see a black screen now.
Oh, we can still hear you. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be black for a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Connect. This'll make it work. Give me a second. All right, let's see. That's the
Now I
display.
feel like I'm right. I feel like I'm right in the middle of Jack's studio with all these wonderful games.
There's so many great games here.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. All right. Oh, we can still hear you. I guess we don't have to see you.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So first off, of course, since we're in attract mode, it's not going to show up. But here, I could show you the cab. So this is the premium that we're looking at. Yelling and blood and stuff. Pretty cool. I just got wires everywhere, so, you know, there's that. But let's see if we can get that. There it is. There's the pattern. Wow, wow, wow.
See, I don't get to see the nice cabinet art in my basement because my games are literally like 3 inches apart from each other side by side, you know. So I can't see any of the side art on any of my games. Only the ones that are on the end of that row do I get to see.
Oh, dope. I'm glad that worked. Man, the picture of me wearing the Stern hat that Stern posted recently, I look like I got punched in the face twice, bro. I've like the biggest, puffiest, like black eyes. I don't. It's become a meme. People are just constantly sending me pictures of them, like with fun little meme captions about how I got my butt kicked.
That's what happens when Gary gets mad at him. He pops him in the eye.
So like, Jack, come here, pop, just
Yeah.
real quick. Not
Bam.
expecting it. Next time, don't talk shit about our games. Sorry, Gary. Oh, good old Gary Bear.
I love Gary. I've learned a lot from Gary in the just shy of 4 years that I've been at Stern. He's got so many great stories because he's been in the industry since he was a little kid.
Going to events with Gary, like he becomes my drinking buddy, and the stories he has are so freaking mind-blowing, especially if you're a pinball fan, but even if you're not. Like, he's got some stories to tell.
Oh man, he told me a few stories of Stern Electronics when they were making the video games and like the video game boom of the early 80s. Because, you know, I grew up loving that stuff, and some of those Stern games that they made back then were some of my favorites. And any game I rattled off, he had a story. Just like you snapped the fingers, he would tell a story. Like his recollection of all that stuff was amazing.
Yeah. He's he's like a lawyer by. He went to school for law, I believe. So I think that makes you have a good memory. I don't think.
I'm not sure, but yeah, he's very sharp. He's got great memory on him.
I think he's at work like every freaking day too. Like,
for sure.
Masked
That guy
up,
puts in more hours than most people.
sitting in his office by himself, just doing his dang thing. That's great. A fedora. Did you take that from Charlie? Yeah, it's a small hat. Internet, calm down. We have a premium. COVID's been brutal. This game is still making $100 a week. Really? Heck yeah, that's sick.
That's awesome. Yeah,
That's
Mitch, Berserk is absolutely high on the list of favorite games for me.
Oh, Berserk.
Stern did that one. Yeah.
They put an 8-bit, 16-bit version of that in Deadpool. It's
That's
in the
right.
background. Yeah.
Yeah. Stern, I don't know who out there in internet land is fans of the old Laserdisc games, like Dragon's Lair, but Stern had one, which is actually my favorite Laserdisc game. It was called Cliffhanger. And I have the distinction of being tied with one other person for the world record in that game.
Oh, really? Is it Billy Mitchell?
Yeah. No, it's I think his name is Chris Platchy. He hangs out at the Galloping Ghost all the time.
Oh, sure.
Fantastic game player. I put up the world record, and then I knew how to do a perfect game, and I was just too tired to keep playing to do that. And I'm like, well, nobody's gonna play this old game, like not that popular. And beat me. And sure enough, like a week later, that guy did the perfect game. He figured it out. And then And then so I went back to do the same thing. So we're tied, but he got the perfect game first because he's younger than me and didn't have to go home and go to bed that day. You know? And also, as a whole, that guy could probably play, run circles around me playing video games. He's got a lot of records.
Oh man!
But I'm proud to share the spotlight of he and I are the two guys that have the maximum possible score. So we're co-record holders.
The only record that I hold is the highest score on a recorded game of Cubert's Quest, the pinball machine.
Okay.
The one that has like 6 flippers and they're all aimed in weird freaking places. Also, I'm pretty sure that game's like heckin' rare because people would have beat the crap out of me a long time ago.
Which one? That Cuber one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Cubert's.
I think it was Cubert's Quest. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really rare.
David Thiel. I remember I was at a pinball event in Canada where David Thiel was there, and I was streaming that game, and David came over, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I got some stories about this game. Most of them are terrible." I was like, "Oh wow, okay, cool." Like, yeah, they used my sounds without asking me. They did all this crap. I'm like, okay, good old pinball. What are you gonna do?
Oh, Brian threw out a question for
Ken Hale did the audio. Nice. Wait, he did?
Yeah, it looks like he did. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wait, what was the question?
Did everybody see it? Let me see if I could scroll up and find it.
Uh-oh. Also holds a record for most NOES say, how about a little nappy? Oh, yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street is a wild game. Is he literally saying, how about a little nappy? I think it is. I don't think he asked a question.
Oh, he asked an hour ago. Never mind.
Yeah.
Brian, it's your turn to come up with another one, though.
How about that?
I asked the last one.
Yeah, I think... How many have we given away so far? 3?
1, 2, 3, yeah.
All right, so the next one we give away, I think, is the last one. So let's milk it a little bit.
Okay. All right, I'll leave that questions because I've asked 2. So Brian's owed another question.
This is a great opportunity to get the internet to say whatever you want them to say, Brian. Imagine having a tilt in the game. Why was I not? I gotta check my tilt bob.
Jack, the word on the street is that you just pull them out of all your games.
You know what? I started that meme, and it's really backfiring on me. Doug Dimmadog. Yeah.
You know what Harrison did to me? I was notorious for death saving on my games in my office.
Yeah.
And when we were working on Jurassic Park, he set the tilt. He put a plumb bob on my tilt mechanism in one of my cabinets, and he made it really sensitive, and then he Loctited it so I couldn't change it.
Wow, dude.
And it was like you sneezed on it and it would tilt. Like,
That's
I ended up having
savage.
to break the thing off to get it off.
Leo,
I would have
holding the
been mad at
tilt
him if it wasn't so funny. I would have been mad at him. But
That's
it was
pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Killer camera angle. Yeah, baby. Oh, come off. All right, let's ask that question. Whatever Brian says, we'll reiterate so that everyone can hear it. But I'll give him a minute to figure that out. Okay, whose name? S-Rad. This is for you, buddy.
Enter your initials.
S space Rad. So what are you doing for Thanksgiving there, Mike?
We're just having it here with our family, our immediate family here in the house. I make the stuffing every year, like my family's recipe of stuffing, and we got, a big turkey and make up a whole bunch of other stuff.
Hell yeah. Do you mess with the green bean casserole?
My wife is making that today, actually, as we're doing this. I don't eat it, but
It's my favorite. It's my freaking favorite thing on the planet.
But everybody else loves it. Our younger of the 2 daughters is home from college for a winter break. She came home end of last week, so
Heck yeah.
It'll be good. It's my favorite meal of the year, and then I get leftovers for days, so it's awesome.
Yeah, sandwiches for the rest of the week.
Yeah, well, just good plates of leftovers,
Yeah.
turkey stuffing, potatoes, and some vegetables.
Oh man, I keep forgetting that's tomorrow. Yeah, Thanksgiving's tomorrow.
Are you in Canada? Because the Canadian Thanksgiving's in October, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. If you're Canadian, that doesn't count. TGM, thank you,
Brian.
bud.
Brian's typing the question now. The last trivia question for a prize.
Okay, here's the question. So, internet, we are not going to be streaming traditionally tomorrow the way we normally do. I'm going to bring that Mr. Arcade emulator home, and the wife and I are going to be streaming for you after we put the kids to bed. Sound good? You have no choice in the matter.
I'm surprised that you're not just going to take the day off, Jack. That's good that you're going to be there for the people after they're in their food comas.
Listen, if I'm sitting in a food coma, all I want to do is veg and watch anything that isn't like some garbage old movie I've seen a million times.
Sure.
After you put the kids to bed, whoa, that wasn't an innuendo, internet. That was the.
He has kids and they need to go to sleep.
I have 2 children that need to sleep. White Claw overload. Yep. All right, let's see. Oh, that ain't it.
All right, Brian's asking the questions now.
All right.
So
Brian's going to drop the question.
Let's put the virtual spotlight on Brian.
Brian!
Here it is.
At the beginning of Stranger Things, the kids are playing D&D and are up against the Demogorgon, but the dice goes off the board and they all have to leave. What number did the dice land on? Oh, people are already answering. And would he have survived or not? You know what's funny about this? You could type whatever, you just spam numbers in chat. That's literally what's happening. 42, 69.
It's a 2-part question, so you need to answer both parts correctly.
Oh.
And Brian knows the answer, so he has to be the one to call out the winner.
2-parter, you have to answer both. Well, it gives me a minute to grab another beverage. Mike, entertain the internet.
All right. I don't know what to tell you. Anybody got any questions while you're throwing out answers for me?
Pocket wins. Woo!
Jack, I worked on every single game I see behind you. In your video there. Yeah, every single one.
We got a
I'm
lot
proud
of
to work. Yeah, I'm proud to work on every one. And the ones I have in my house dedicated would just be, I have a dedicated Batman, but I've got playfields for all those other ones except heavy metal, because you have my heavy metal playfield.
If I keep telling the internet, if Stern and I ever have a fallout, there's 2 games that disappeared from the studio, and that's Deadpool and Batman.
I love both of those games.
Yeah. That's great. Pocket. So was it Pocket who won? Pocket, send me a DM with all of your...
But I think he won before, right?
I think
Pocket did you win before?
Yeah, I have a message
so
right here from
Pocket was excluded from winning, so somebody else has to win. So whoever answered it correctly second after Pocket should get it.
However you want to address that.
Yeah, I'll leave it to Brian.
I got excited, sorry.
He's reading the chat. I was looking at the games behind Jack to see which ones I have.
Yeah, it's wild out here. I have Gomez's personal Sam testing cabinet from his garage that he gifted me.
Nice.
That he prototyped all the games he's done since he's been a contractor at Stern, which is wild. Yeah, this thing belongs in a museum, and I have it sitting freaking right here.
The only Sam game I own is I have a Tron.
I would love some Stern DMD games, man. But so I've carved out a cool job for myself, but it's also become a thing where I get to show off all the new games now, but the old games. So, that's okay.
It's a nice problem to have, though.
Hey, it's an amazing problem to have. You have a Stern DMD behind you. This heavy metal counts. Shut up, internet. Okay, stop it. I'm going with whatever forever, since he had 7 before I claimed the winner. Okay, whatever forever. Send me a DM with your, probably here on Twitch, because everyone else is sent it here on Twitch. Send me your name and mailing address, and I will send that over to Stern, and they'll get you the dang thing. Whatever, forever. Look at these freaking Demogorgons. They're so cute. I mean, they're not cute, but it's even sculpted all the way around, like in the back. They got the delts and the quads. I don't know what muscles are, but all right. So is there anything else we haven't covered, Mike? Talking about the old Stranger Things?
I think we covered it all, for the most part, that I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse my brain fog, only because I had to release 3 code releases for this week for everybody, so that ate up a good chunk of my last couple of days.
Yeah, we got code updates for this game. We got code updates for Black Knight and for AIQ.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was a Thanksgiving code extravaganza for the people.
You're welcome, Internet.
Yeah.
Code? Where's the code? Remember when that was a meme?
Yeah, we want people, are stuck at home, and a lot of people have games at home now. So we figured it was a good time to try to coordinate a couple of code releases for people over the extended holiday that most people are probably having to spend at home instead of traveling to visit their loved ones and friends.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
What was my favorite pinball machine I worked on? Oh man, that's a tough one.
Uh-oh.
This one ranks super high on the list because of the large amount of involvement I had on it. So this game is going to go down in history as being one of the most special to me for sure. Stranger Things. There wasn't the game I didn't enjoy. I like working on everything for various different reasons, but
Mike said that he really hated Batman. I heard him say it.
No, I was just about to say I love working on Batman with Lyman so much that I bought a Batman for my house.
Yeah.
That was one of the first 2 projects I did, when I came to the company. So that game was pretty special to me. And also, Lyman and I came up with that channel changing thing together. So that was a cool new feature that hadn't been seen before. So that alone, I'm super proud of that one. I'm real proud of working on Deadpool with Tanyo because he gave me a fair amount of input, to work with him on game rules and whatnot. And that was a real enjoyable process. But it's hard. It's like picking your favorite kid,
Listen, I get asked that all the time, and I'm like, if I say any game, Gary's going to call me and tell me to shut up.
Iron Maiden was a ton of fun for me. I had, my only input on any rule was just my skill shot, but I like that band a lot, and it's such a great game, and and Keith is a pretty good friend of mine at work. Again, I can give you reasons why I like working on everything for sure.
Yeah, it's not a place to say like I like this better than that, but to give reasons why you like each one.
Yeah. I have a really unique position where I work with every lead designer, software guys especially, and each one I could give a list. I could tell you why I like working with each one, and every answer will be different. For the different people. Like I genuinely enjoy working with all of them. And I have a good relationship with all of them, which is, real important to me.
Hell yeah. Oh, come on, game. Let's try that again. Dart. Evolve faster. What is the thing that you think has changed the most on this game since it was released?
That's a good question. Let me think. Well, when we first released it, the game was, it wasn't complete, obviously. So there were some modes in there that didn't have the proper rules fleshed out yet. Right. So I'd say the modes themselves probably changed the most from when we first shipped it to what it came, a few months later.
Yeah.
That was the biggest change. The multi-ball has been the multi-ball since the beginning. Like we had that all planned out from the get-go and implemented, because it's one of the first things you see. But I'd say the modes for sure changed.
Board Gamer says they just got the Mxv Skill Shot on their Pro.
Nice, congrats.
How dare you? Does it play a video or something?
There's a graphic that pops up, yeah.
Do I
It'll
need to
say
take the
MXV
effing glass
Super
off of
Skill
this thing, dude?
It says Mxv Super Skill Shot and you get a bunch of points.
RB, what's up, dude? We were just shouting you out earlier. Oh, RB, on the technical front, I have a GoPro Hero Black 8. They can't do a live 60 FPS out right now. That's why we're only getting like 30. So,
is that something they can fix later with like a firmware upgrade, or is it a limitation of the hardware?
It's like the GoPro like 4s can do it, so it's just something that they screwed up in the firmware.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's coming. We just don't have it yet. But
SLC Punk, my initials are MXV. Those are my actual initials for my name.
Most
full
Extreme
name,
Vinikor.
So. Most Extreme Vinikor. Yeah, my parents were hippies. They named me Most Extreme Vinikor.
Is your middle name Xavier or something?
It is. Yep.
Nice.
And here's some MXV trivia, which would have been a good answer, but nobody would have known this unless they grew up with me or something. If I had been born just a couple hours later, my birthday would have been the same numbers as my initials in Roman numerals, which would have been 1015.
How the hell do you sit there and figure that out, especially if it isn't even what it is? Like,
well, my initials are 1015 with 1015 in Roman numerals. And then I was born October 14th. I'm like, man, if I just stayed in for a couple more hours, those two things, I was a little too eager to get into the world, I guess, you know?
Heck yeah. Jack, does your GoPro at 16:9? Yeah. It's a known problem with the thing, so we might have to buy like a crappy old GoPro 4 to get like the sexiness. Andrew, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, Caster, my initials became like my gimmick name. You know, like people just call me MXV instead of Mike or Michael, because you know it was born largely out of me putting my initials in games everywhere, and then I just started using it like when I would sign emails or anything. And then for my photography, I do concert photography. You know, it's like I call it MXV photography.
The punk
and yeah, for my website when I write it, like, you know, I don't go by my name, I just go by MXV. So it became like a professional name on top of actually just being my initials. And Mike is a very common name, so it helps distinguish me from, you know, the many other Mikes.
So many Mikes.
Yeah, I mean, we have a few at Stern.
Yeah. The kids
I know at least, yeah, I know. Well, I know at least 4, including myself, at least 4 Mikes at Stern.
All right, upside down. Give it to me, baby. So, Mike, right now, you have, obviously we're not going to say, but you have, like, games that are coming down the pipeline soon from Stern at your place.
I can't confirm or deny that, but typically that would be the case, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I work on everything as we develop them.
Got it. So if Stern was ever coming out with another pinball machine, which who knows if it'll ever happen.
Yeah, we might do another one someday. You know, this pinball thing seems to be catching on with people, so we might make another one.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, much like my office in the Stern building, you know, would have the latest stuff in there that I'm working on, and maybe something that we're, you know, developing that could be coming. You know, my home office could have those things too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jack, I want a Demogorgon or not? Hell no. I think we're out of Gorgons. I officially gave away my Demogorgon, which I'm sad about. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna kiss this one for you. Okay. I don't have COVID, but you might want to clean it anyway.
Blue Goose, if you shout Mike, depending on how many of us are in the building at a time, at least 3 or 4, I think, would turn around. I mean, there's 2 mics just in product development, myself and Mike Kizavat alone.
Mike Kizavat did the voice of who on TMNT? I can't remember.
I forget. He did a couple of the voices.
So-
Him and his brother have done
Yes.
voice work for us and on a few titles, and they're
One
great
of
at
them,
it.
One of them did Shredder, and the other one did Krang. But then several other voices too. But yeah, that was awesome. Gonna sign it, Jack? You want me to sign this one? Listen, no one wants my heckin' signature. Get up there, please, Mom. Dang it. How far behind is the stream for you, Mike, when you're watching live on the Twitch?
If I don't notice it too bad if I'm not watching you talk, like if I'm looking at your camera where and your mouth is moving way ahead, it's like watching a dubbed in movie. You know.
You'll never defeat me, Mike Vinikor. Oh.
Yeah, it's probably a good 3 or 4 seconds, I think.
Okay, it's not bad. Get up. 1 million. This mode, I think, is the hardest mode.
Thanks for the kind words, Test Bishop. I look forward to when, you know, there's a vaccine and people can go out again safely. That, you know, I look forward very much to the day that the pinball shows resume and I could be out there with all the people challenging me and talking about our games, you know.
Heck yeah.
Touring with the Marco folks for the, you know, the pinball show circuit every year. That's a real perk of my job. Like something I really am very happy that they let me do. That they trusted me to be like a representative for the company, you know. It became a real perk for me. It's one of the highlights for sure.
Oh, there you go, RB. Congrats to the dev team. I really love this game, and it's the best for me, the best of 2020. Damn.
Wow, thank you very much, RB.
RB Flip France.
Yeah. I was a big fan of the show long before, you know, from when it first aired. My wife and I both watched it together. Like, we binge watched them both, like when both seasons happened. And when I found out we were going to be doing this, and especially with Brian, like, I was super excited because it's like a theme that I really liked. And it gave me a great excuse to rewatch them a few more times, you know.
Oh yeah.
I like, while I was traveling for all those shows, I had my iPad and I loaded them up with the episodes and just watched them on the plane and was making notes and stuff. It really made the time go by quickly on those flights.
Yeah, I need to check this show out again. It's been a hot minute. I don't think I watched the last season that just happened.
Yeah, whatever. This game, if you played it in February, it's really come a long, long, long way since then, because February was still pretty early. And then, you know, especially like the past 6 months for sure, it really took a giant leap forward. You know, obviously now we're at 1.0, so, but the last 6 months worth of updates were pretty substantial.
I had a great ball 1, and now I'm draining all my balls. Mxv Skill Shot, stop! How many units are expected to be produced for this game? That is not a number that Stern shares.
No, it's not. And, you know, I don't know that something you can even predict, really.
Yep. But I mean, if you wanted to guess, you could look at... The only number they make public is how many LEs they made.
Yeah. There are no drawings for the total isolation, and there is not drawings in the demo Gorgon modes either.
Got it.
Because both of those were very lucrative as they were, so they didn't really need the enhancement so much. Like, my goal of the drawings was to really entice people to want to finish the modes and do well in them, because then they get it helps them out further down the road in more than one way. So there's nothing worse than, like, if people just want to time out the modes just to get to quote unquote the good stuff.
Yeah,
like, I want it all to be the good stuff. So, like, with the drawing, it's like I want to finish every mode, and I get bummed if I didn't get that drawing, you know, because the more drawings I get when I get to those wizard modes, it's like that I'm going to get way more money points.
Heck yeah. Well, Mike, we're at the 2-hour mark, dude. If you
Okay.
you let me know what you want to do, bro. Are we chilling? Are we vibing? Are we done?
I'll sit for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I could maybe hang out for another 15-20 minutes or so if you guys are still going to go.
You want a small topper hint? We have the topper on here, but I installed it upside down, so I can't show it right now. So.
I see the topper right above Jack's head. It's Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm. All right, who gets this? Andrew, this is for you, buddy. Andrew. K-E-T. Well, I hate putting the wrong letter in. Steve Ritchie can put his name in super fast, or his initials in super fast without looking. And it blows my mind that he's able to do that.
So yeah, he always likes to show that off. It's unbelievable. And he doesn't ever mess it up either. It's just like, bam, done.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
I didn't mean for that to be a link. Uh-oh, there was a link?
Yeah, it said like 802 dot anything.
Wi-Fi retrofit? There's Wi-Fi coming, ladies and gentlemen. George talks about it on the podcasts and the stuffs and the hey.
Yeah, it's public knowledge that, Wi-Fi connectivity is coming for sure for our games. I can't speak to as the details or when, obviously, but it is something that we are doing. That George has, made that public in multiple platforms.
Yep.
There.
We don't leak stuff here, internet. Okay. Don't get me in trouble.
That's a good question, Blue Goose. The current crop of our Stern games have tons of feature adjustments to try to give people of different skill levels a way to tweak the games, kind of fit their levels better. So anything from like how often the extra balls appear to how many extra balls to the difficulty of lighting locks or things like that, or how many things are spotted for you.
Where's barb timers?
Yeah, you could really go down a rabbit hole of tinkering with your game settings to try to fit your play style and your skill set, and then the beauty is as you get better, become a better player, you can tweak it and make it harder to make it more challenging so it doesn't get easier and boring for you. And then, or if you've got young kids or people that are more casual players that, that don't really know like the ins and outs of pinball, you can make things more accessible for them so they can see a multi-ball faster or start a mode faster. So it gets to be out of hand where, on paper, you're like, wow, there's like 100 something settings in this game. But really it's like a necessity because, people keep these games in their house sometimes for many, many years. I've got games I've owned for over 20 years, and the ability to be able to tweak that stuff to keep it interesting to you or appeal to like if I have my nieces and nephews come over, they play at a different skill level than me. I can make the games more fun for them.
Yeah, that exactly. Less frustrating for folks that aren't typically used to playing pinball.
Yeah, for sure. So I can't really recommend one because you can't really make that blanket statement because the different settings would apply to different people's needs or desires. So I would just say experiment with what works for your skill set.
Yeah, internet, remember when we put Avengers on 10 balls and I probably could have played probably forever? It really depends on what your skill set is.
The TK lock power setting is for the strength of which that diverter pulls in. And also there's one setting, I think, for the strength of which the coil pulls the magnet away from the back panel to release the balls.
Got it.
Because the magnet itself is, like we mentioned earlier, is not powered. It's a passive magnet. So, but the diverter and the coil for the release have adjustable settings in there.
Calm down, clean. Oh. Okay, multi-ball is ready. And I'm shooting nothing. There we go.
One thing I've done personally in a couple of my games is sometimes I'll dial down the strength of the coil for the slingshots a little bit because to me they seem to fire so hot, like I feel like they're hitting it. So
yeah.
I tend to dial those down a few notches, and that really depends on the game too. But there's some, like I had a Stern Star Trek for a long time, and I turned those slingshots down. They just seemed crazy hot to me at the time that I had the game. I had it for about 4.5 years. That was one I turned down, not to make the game easier, just to make it like less violent, I guess.
Violence, a good way to put it.
Yeah, a lot of people like to turn down the eject power from when it kicks out of the ball trough into the shooter lane.
Totally.
So, and that's a smart one to turn down if you're a user at home because, to try to keep it from getting marked up or whatever.
Woo! Walkie-talkie. Starts the game for one thing. Uh-oh, Test Bishop, what did I do? Stay alive, burn it back, burn it back, burn it back. The UV kit, I remember when that was told to me at Stern before it was announced. And I was like, this is on all play fields? Like, even the pros? Or like, yeah. I'm like, that's freaking wild.
Man, I'll tell you.
And no one freaking knew about it. The thing that blew my mind is no one knew about it. It wasn't leaked. It wasn't.
Yeah, we were like almost we had it like in our heads like, all right, what's the over and under on how fast somebody finds it?
I almost leaked it like at what's that big consumer electronics show?
Yeah, it was.
Because someone leaned over. They're like, hey, this thing's cool. And I said it to the internet. I was like, hey, put a black light on this. And then some people came over. They're like, shut up. And I was like, let me delete this video. And okay.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was at CES, I think.
Oh, CES.
Yeah. I remember that because I wanted to reach through the screen and hit you.
Yep, but it didn't get out.
It was amazing that nobody saw that because some people really look at their playfields with a really critical eye, to look for any deep. So I was surprised that they didn't just figure out what's this, because it's really, really hard to see unless you shine a black light on it, But I'll tell you that when Lonnie coded up those lights and brought Brian and I in there to show us his first pass at it, we were just completely blown away by how cool it looked, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I've got, when I get that game at home, I have to have these lights.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it just totally fits the theme.
And there's little bits of when the UV lights turn on, if you have the UV kit, give the game an actual good look, because there's a lot of hidden little Easter eggs in all the UV art.
Oh yeah, for sure there is. I remember on a earlier stream we did at the studio at Stern, Jack, with this game. We pointed out a couple. I remember you had the camera on there, and I was pointing to a couple of the little.
We had one of those high intensity UV flashlights. Yeah, and we're just going over here's this, here's that. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, we didn't want to do, I answered this earlier, but I'll answer it again. SAG, we didn't want to do we never considered the reverse flippers because it had been done on a few other games. And not that it had been done poorly, it was fun in those games, but I feel like, it would just feel too much like we borrowed it from another one of our games, or two of our games, because Simpsons had it, and so did Ghostbusters. Yeah. And Ghostbusters wasn't that long ago, so that one was absolutely still fresh in people's minds. That it just felt too much like, we just took it from Ghostbusters.
Barb.
Mystery is lit.
Barb.
Ball 2.
If I were messing with flippers for the upside down, I would set them to be up by default. Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I misread it. That's what I thought that the other person who asked that was talking about. That would be extremely weird. I've never seen.
I feel like that would do some serious damage to your coils.
Yeah, because they'd be energized on to keep them up, right? You'd be turning them off to go down, and then when you're turning them off, then the flippers are dropping not with any force. They're only dropping at the speed of how the spring returns them.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there'd be no snap to the downward motion. You know, they would just kind of just droop down.
Oh man! Since it's fast short mode, it wouldn't burn the coils. I don't know. Over the lifespan of a game being played. Because you get upside down at least once every game. At least.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much a given you're going to get the first one.
That's a guarantee that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Whereas, mass hysteria is something that, you
that
don't
was
get
far out.
a lot.
That was pretty far out into the game.
Yeah.
Mystery is lit.
When I came to work, Ghostbusters was like the second newest game that they had. Like Batman had just come out, and so I never got a lot of time on Ghostbusters until I came to work at Stern. And so I was learning it. Like when I learned about how to get that mode, I would just shoot for the ghost to try to get that mode so I could play.
And, I think you were on our reveal stream for Ghostbusters. Maybe?
No, I didn't work at Stern when Ghostbusters was released.
Huh.
I came to work at Stern right after Batman started shipping. So
that was my first time meeting Zombie Eddy, and I was like, this is a snarky son of a bitch. But he's like one of my best friends.
I love Zombie Eddy. He's such a nice person, and what a talented artist. Like,
yeah.
Amazing talent.
There's a cow hidden in here somewhere. Oh.
I forgot about that, Brian. That's true. Somewhere there might be a cow.
Somewhere there might be a cow. Okay. That was close. This is the burn the kid mode.
I used to call this mode burn well. Because you turn up the heat. Yeah.
Oh, burn well. Ooh, good warning. Good warning. Can we backhand? Gotta burn that wheel.
Yeah, you can backhand that inner loop shot. I do it a lot.
There we go. Done and done.
Nice shot.
Burned him. Alright, so we should be on our way to... Wait, we're still burning will. Okay. Let's finish that
Blue
burn.
Goose, no, we don't use toddlers to stress test the machines because there's labor laws here in the States.
True. Man, one of the biggest reasons I miss going to Stern so much is it was Portillo's. I loved going to Portillo's all the freaking time.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we just had a new one open up. I could walk there in about 5 minutes from my studio.
Oh, that's the one that Josh Clay has been so excited about. He lives like across the street from it or something, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he's been giving us regular updates, like via instant, our Slack channel or whatever, for like the progress of when they were being built. So I feel like I watched it grow from Josh's updates.
I was late for a stream for like an hour because the drive-through line was so heckin' long. It was wild.
Oh, wow.
The layout is pretty close, but some of the features changed a bit. I guess I missed what? How far is the final layout from the first draft of the game? Oh. Yeah, I think Brian shared some photos. There was like 3 banks of drop targets at one point. There was like a bank here too and a bank here, I think.
Yeah, there was like at one point there was like 2 banks of drop targets side by side with like a gap.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, like, it turned out that the layout we have now ended up being the most fun iteration of the drop targets in the middle there.
Yeah, buddy. It's Will. He's trying to talk to me. Thanks, Winona Ryder. Oh, gosh. Take your puny haul. All right.
When we were working in the building, like Portillo's, like I eat there usually at least once a week for sure.
I eat there every single time I go to Stern. Every time.
Yeah,
without question.
Once a week for sure. And what's nice in nice weather, a group of us like Keith, me, and Rick, and a bunch of others, we would just walk there. It's a nice, like, just shy of a mile walk. So you can kind of earn the Portillo's by walking there.
Earn it. I like it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I've only had it like maybe 3 times since the pandemic has been going on. Like my stepdaughter has gone to pick it up at the drive-thru for us a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
In fact, when she came home from college, the first day she was home, she went and got herself Portillo's at the drive-thru.
You got to.
Because they don't have it where she goes to college.
I freaking love Chicago style hot dogs from Portillo's are like they are like Chicago style hot dogs. Like I like Portillo's food a lot, but I have places I like the hot dogs and especially the Italian beefs better than Portillo's. Oh yeah, I don't think they do the Italian beef the Chicago justice, but I think their Chicago dogs are pretty solid. Like my wife and I finally, I've never eaten at Superdog, right? The famous Superdog.
Yeah, they got good hot dogs there for sure.
Bro, we waited for like an hour and a half, and when we got our food, my wife's like, "This tastes like Denny's," and I was like, "Yeah." I mean,
I like it, but I would never wait an hour and a half.
I think her attitude of waiting for so long really diminished the flavor of what was going on.
It'll do that for sure. I think, like, everybody's all crazy for that Gene and Jude's place. I think that's some of the worst hot dog I've ever eaten in my life.
Gene and
plus
Jude's?
The fact that, Gene and Jude's. Plus the fact that they're so, like, anti-ketchup. Like, to me, like, I'm not on board with that kind of discrimination. So, like, I won't eat there out of principle that they hate ketchup, Like, why would you exclude a perfectly good condiment? And don't shame people that like it, Like,
it's the shaming part, right?
Yeah, well, I was born in Chicago, and the only thing I like to put on my hot dogs was ketchup. I'm like a little kid. But
you weren't beat with a belt by trying to put ketchup on your hot dog?
No, not at all. And I find it like irritating, and when people try to be like, well, that doesn't belong on a hot dog. I'm like, don't tell me how to eat, Like, I don't tell you how to wear your clothes.
Hot dogs go hand in hand, but it's like in the flavor profile that is a Chicago style hot dog, where it has the entire effing garden on there.
Yeah,
I get it, because like ketchup is sweet and it's a very overpowering condiment.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, I was once at a White Sox game, and I got a hot dog, and I'm putting ketchup on it, and like I said, that's all I'll put on it. And some guy who was sitting behind me taps me in the shoulder. I turn around, I go like, "What do you want?" He goes, "You're not from around here, are you?" And I said, "Why are you asking me such a random question?" He goes, "Well, I noticed you put ketchup on your hot dog, and there's no way you're from Chicago." I'm like, "Listen, buddy. I'm like, I was born 3 miles.
Listen,
I was born 3 miles away from this ballpark." I'm like, and I don't believe in your stupid, elitism of what goes on a hot dog.
Someone in chat said they've been here for 10 minutes and they didn't see the Demogorgon. Here, I'll show it to you in less than a minute. Ready? That was one shot.
Yeah, you got it ready now.
I accidentally hit the wrong shot. We're gonna live catch this, and then you just shoot it up here, and there's the Demogorgon.
Yeah, that's one thing that did change since the early versions of the game. The first Demogorgon was a lot harder to start the first time out.
But it's like such a big important toy that you gotta make sure.
Exactly, and like Gary was, insisted like, you guys have to make that easier, and he was totally right. And then when we did, like, it became like then it felt right to everybody.
Closer to the start button, as
absolutely, yeah. We skewed a little too hard on our first pass of what it took to start that thing.
I also had like 5 or 6 successful Demogorgon kills in like mouth kills tonight, which is a high score for me. You should put a small Chicago ball cap on your Demogorgon. True. Oh, have people been modding these the way they do Sparky from Metallica?
Oh, that's right. People used to. I saw some really cool paint jobs.
Dude, they've done some wild stuff with that Sparky. Pull this thing off and paint it all crazy. I want to make this look like a sandworm from Beetlejuice.
Oh, that would be funny.
No idea. We have the designer here. Yep. My custom Sparky's amazing. Oh, you have one? Yeah. I feel like if you own a Metallica, you have to have a custom Sparky. Oh my god, just put googly eyes on it. You're right. What the hell am I thinking, Blue Goose? It's genius.
Yeah,
the way he shakes around? Oh my god.
to put a finish on the hot dog thing that's still going on in the chat, I don't care what people put on their food, especially their hot dogs, Like, I just personally don't like mustard or all those other gimmicks that are on the thing, but I'm a really picky eater. Like, I really do have like the eating taste of a young kid, Like, I eat probably the same stuff I did when I was 7 for the most part. But that's just, but I certainly wouldn't shame somebody for what they put on their food, Like, I've seen people put ketchup on their fries, and I don't like to do that either, but I'm not gonna.
You don't put it on your fries, you get your hands all ketchup.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell somebody they're wrong for putting a condiment on their food.
No, you call that person a troglodyte or whatever.
So I never understood like this, this weird hang up people have with what goes on a hot dog just because you live in Chicago.
What about ketchup on eggs, dude?
I've seen people put
eggs.
ketchup on it. I don't do it, but I've seen lots of people do that. Or hot sauce on eggs.
If I'm eating an omelet or straight up just eggs, I got hot sauce and ketchup on there.
I see a lot of people do that
all day. Oh god, it's so good. Ooh. Welcome to Food Talk with Jack and Mike.
Yeah. You know what? When I'm at those pinball shows, food talk is a regular thing with people.
Yeah, man.
You know,
because you got to know what's around.
Yeah, it mostly was talk about In-N-Out burgers and Waffle Houses, but I love food. Like, I'll plan my day around where I'm going to go eat that day. You know, when I'm anywhere. It drives my wife crazy. She goes, "You wake up and you try to plan out what you're eating for lunch." She goes, "You know," I'm like, "Yeah, like my dad was that way too. Like, I need something to look forward to."
Oh, get it up. Get it up. So is there an opto inside of the Demogorgon's mouth, or how does it read that?
So there's
red
two
LED in there for sure.
There's an opto in front of, like, a long range one that's in front of, so like it detects hits to the body, you know,
okay.
like if you just
there's a long throw here
there's a long throw like between the Demogorgon and the ramp. I'm pointing like people can see me.
Yep,
you know,
I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
And then inside the Demogorgon's mouth, in the metal, inside those metal, there's an opto, so it knows when the ball went in there and dropped down.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah, so there's a couple of pairs of optos at play there for your interaction with the Demogorgon.
Dig it. All right, Internet, this is going to be the last game of the night. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. Big shout out to Mike Vinikor and Brian Eddy for being here to answer any questions. If you have any last-minute questions, we're just going to play this game out and then call it. But I think Mike covered pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think so too. It was good to be back on here with you, Jack, doing this again. It's been so long, brother. I missed it.
Well,
it's good to be.
We got to get some more Zoom action going on with if Stern ever makes another game.
Yeah, hopefully we'll make another game because I certainly would love to participate in these things more regularly if we do.
Me too. Yeah, this video, by the way, is it's being recorded live on Twitch. I know it's rare that I do that now with the DMCA stuff, but we're going to take a chance on this. We're going to leave it live on Twitch. I'm going to upload it to YouTube so that you can watch this and it will live in perpetuity. Brian, thank you again, my dude, for being here.
Yeah, Brian, Max Power, the game does, as of 1.0, like all the planned features that we had for the game are in the game now. It's not missing anything.
I think that's the idea of 1.0 is like, everything that could be in the game is in the game. Not that like it doesn't need maybe some massaging down the road, but everything that had an idea for the game is in here now.
Correct. Yeah, like the goal of 1.0, it signifies feature complete. So all planned features for the game are in there. It's not missing any modes. Like everything that in the game does something that's supposed to do.
Here, you can have that one back.
Like, for example, Turtles shipped, with 1.0 software.
Mm-hmm.
But there were some updates for polish and whatnot, but
exactly.
it shipped feature complete.
Heck yeah. Yeah, Brian, congrats again, my dude. Your first game back in pinball. It's freaking rad.
Yeah, like I said, I'm glad Brian's back in pinball, and selfishly because I love working with him, but also because he's made some great games over the years.
It's a shame he'll never make another pinball machine.
Yeah, I hope that we make some more games so Brian can do another one.
It's a damn shame. Sorry, hey, it's been a good run, Brian. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, but I do have many of Brian's games that he designed over the years in my home that I've been playing for years.
Yeah, we've had this Pool Sharks here forever, but like we've played the life out of that thing, so it's on to greener pastures now.
Yeah, when the pandemic's over, I need to downsize a little bit because my basement's overflowing. So I'm actually going to probably sell a few games I've had hanging around for a long time to make some space, and then I'll put that money into like fixing up my house for some home improvements.
Some sort of like adult Roth IRA bullshit.
Yeah, some like grown up nonsense, responsibility. But right now I'm overflowing where like I can't even play every game down here because I've got games in front of games.
Mike, I'm in the exact same boat as you, my dude. I keep trying to give games back, and they, with one that I give away, 2 show up. So I don't know what to do with myself anymore. It's awesome to be back to work with all the amazing people at Stern. Harkens back to the Williams Valley days. A lot of passionate pinball people. Hell yeah, dude. Add 1 of 4. Great. Oh, we got him.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I'm watching ads.
Well, you're watching ads?
Yeah, is that new? Like I'm just I'm not logged in as a user, so I'm just a guest on the watching on my other computer here above my laptop that I'm zooming from. But yeah, right now I'm on ad 2.
Mid-roll ads. Let's get them.
Yeah, ad 2 of 8.
Of 8? What the fuck?
All right, now I'm on ad 3 of 8. So multiply 30 seconds times 5.
There's no way they're 30 seconds apiece.
This one is because it's got a timer going on it.
Skip that. Can you skip them?
No, but maybe a logged-in user might be able to skip them. I don't know.
It's time we introduce you to something called ad block. Of course, ads pay me, but the inconvenience is.
I could still hear you, so it's okay. Actually, I just realized above the stream is a small version of above the chat, and I can still see the whole stream. Yeah, there's picture in picture. So.
Yeah.
So they do it like AEW wrestling, where they still show you the match that's going on while the commercials are showing, and then the match is in a picture in picture.
Pip it up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, yo, Mike, again, congrats. This game's freaking sick. Brian.
Thank you guys. And thank you everybody who came and tuned in on this Thanksgiving Eve here. It was a real pleasure to be able to interact with you guys, virtually at least.
Yeah, man, we gotta have you on more often for sure.
Yeah, we've been separated for so long. Like I don't get to see the guys that I get to see at the shows. Like I was bummed I didn't get to see anybody this year, because that is a real highlight of the gig. Is meeting all you folks in person.
Hell yeah. Well,
wait. To answer Crow's question, I never answered that question because if I ever get the opportunity to make that theme, I don't want somebody stealing it. So I never answer the question of like, what's your dream theme? Or all I ever say, which is the truth, is I have a couple of ideas in my head of themes I would love to do if I was ever given the opportunity. But unless that day comes, like I can't say.
Wham! The pinball machine. You've been sitting on that idea for a long time. I legit television ad break. Oh crap! Sorry, Chomp. Love you.
All right. 10 seconds left of ad 8 of 8.
Oh, you're almost done.
I'm almost done.
Yeah. Definitely understand. Yeah, I mean, and that's just that's the way that
I think everybody in the industry would give you that same answer of, there's competition out there. We're not the only pinball company on the planet. You don't want somebody saying, "Oh yeah, he wants to do that. Let's go get that and do it."
Absolutely. All right, internet. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. Again, Mike. Thank you so much, my dude. You look great on stream here, by the way.
Thanks, man.
I got my own tiny little Vinikor here. Brian, thanks for hanging out in chat, my dude. I love you. Lonnie, if you're watching, I know you're not. Great job. And we're not going to be streaming.
I'm sure Lonnie will watch the playback. I'm sure for sure though.
see if any bugs showed up. We're not streaming tomorrow our normal stream, so just stay tuned and I'll announce what's going on. But we're probably going to be playing some like old arcade games or something at home with the wife, and she's excited to yell at you all to give me money. So
there you go.
Have
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, internet. Have a good night. I love you. Hey, Mike, hang around for a minute, please.
Okay.
All right. Do.